thing you're going to do is brand yourself. And so a lot of my marketing all has the same font, same photos, same text. And that's really what you guys want to do when you are creating your brand. Don't just use your brokerage brand. You want to use your own branding, and you can create a lot of this for free if you can get proficient in Canva. If not, there's templates available for you where you can literally plug and play your photos and info right into it and then print it out for yourself. So you want to make sure that you are creating your business to show how you are special and how you are different. And that's key to being a real estate agent and setting yourself apart from others. There's a lot of benefits of being a listing agent, and that's what this class is for, is to get you to be a listing agent. You don't want to be at the mercy of buyers anymore. You want to be a listing agent so that you have your time and you are controlling your time. The reason why it's great to be a listing agent is, the first reason is, if you have one listing, you can generate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And I typically do that with every listing I have. I'm able to get 2 or 3 more. My last listing that I took earlier this year, I actually was able to obtain 7 other transactions from it. And that's from one listing. I have another class that is called Leveraging Your Listing that I share more about how you can do that. But using the methods that I'm going to teach you today in this class, you're going to be able to generate appointments to be able to get listings so that you can then leverage those listings. When you are a listing agent, the sellers are contractually obligated to work with you. So a lot of times when you're working with a buyer, say you're not available that weekend, or they happen to see an open house that they wanted to run through, or wanted to run into that builder's model, and now you're not getting paid. That's not the case anymore. When you have a seller, they sign a contract with you, you are their agent, and they are contractually obligated to work with you. Open houses are a wonderful way to not only market your listing, but yourself. And so I'm going to teach you in this class how you can use that open house to actually get new listings from, not just buyers. And there's an entire strategy around that. When you are a listing agent, you can literally transform your business. Being a listing agent is structured more like a business than when you are working with buyers. You might have heard this before in this industry. I heard it when I first got licensed, that you have to list in order to last. It's an old expression that a lot of people used to say way back when, and I really do think it truly rings true. If you're not listing homes, your phones are not ringing. So you have to have listings in order to be able to leverage yourself in the real estate market. It's the only way to sustain and build yourself a career. I'm going to go over 25 ways today how you can get listings in any market. All of these work if you work them. You have to stay consistent with it. I don't recommend that you guys take all 25 of these ways and run with it. I think that would be very overwhelming for anybody. And that's why I offer you guys the playback at the end, because I hate for you guys to be overwhelmed and say, well, what did she say about this or that? This way you can replay it and you can rewatch it. So if there's a strategy that you like, that you want to start implementing, you can rewatch and re-implement. So I suggest picking 2, 3, or 4 different methods that I go over today, and then give them a chance to work. So again, unless you're consistent with what you're doing, it's not going to pay off for you. You have to be willing to put the work in. You don't want to be overwhelmed, so you want to stay consistent, and you want to consider your budget. So you don't want to pick a method that is going to be too costly for you to implement and you not be able to stay consistent with. So I will kind of tell you as we go through each of these strategies, which ones are free or which ones are low cost, so that you can write that down as well. Because if budget is in mind, I know a lot of us are slow and aren't wanting to spend a ton of money, then you'll want to pick some of these strategies that are either free or very low cost. So let's get into it. The first method is free. And it's through your social media channels. So all of you should have social media channels set up. If you don't have at least Instagram and Facebook, I recommend having both of those as your main sources of where you are marketing yourself. And this is a free way again. What you're going to do in your stories, you're going to create a slide, and this is an engagement slide. The first slide is, are you in your dream home? And you're going to have them do a poll, and you're going to check yes or check no. So they can pick, are they in their dream home? They can click yes or they can click no. On the second slide, have you thought about selling your home in 2023? Or you could change that to be 2024, or in December, whatever you would like it to be. Have them do another poll, yes or no. In the third screen, there's no place like home. What is one thing you would change about your home? In that one, you can do a question box. In the question box, they're able to put in there what they don't like about their current home. Kelly, are you not able to see the screen?
No, I don't see it. I see you.
You'll have to change your view.
Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm not gonna waste time here. I'll figure it out.
The screen is small. It's a little hard to read because it's small.
You just change your view on there and you should be able to see the screen. Okay, in the fourth slide, you're going to actually reach out to these participants. So instead of having them reach out to you, they have now answered your poll, right? They've gone through poll number 1. Are they in their dream home? Yes or no. They've answered poll number 2. Have they thought about selling? Yes or no. And then they've answered your question, poll number 3. Now your stories are good for 24 hours. So what you're going to do at 23 hours before that expired, you're going to go through every single person who answered that poll, and you're going to reach out to them through a direct message. And you're going to say, thank you for participating in my recent Facebook or Instagram poll. I would love to get the process started in helping you find your dream home. And that is opening up a line of communication with them if they have questions about maybe purchasing a home or selling a home. Usually when they have to, when they want to purchase, they have to sell their existing home. And the reason why this is really good is there was a lot of people that purchased homes during that pandemic era. They're not happy in their homes. They settled. There was still no inventory then. And I've done polls on my Instagram asking people if they were happy with the home that they purchased during that time. And it's an overwhelming response that people are unhappy. They're not happy with what they purchased. They feel like they just got a home just to get it because they needed somewhere to live. So I think you'll find that too, as you post these, that there's a lot of people that would change a lot of things or just want to move on to a different home. Or sometimes they end up not liking the area they had moved to, or they want to be closer to a different area. So always make sure whenever you're doing any type of engagement poll on social media that you are following through and following up. All of the marketing that you do is always in the follow-up. When you follow up and then you take that step and reach out to them, that's where you're going to get the response to be able to have that conversation start. The next method is also very inexpensive. You can do this through a hand-addressed letter. You're going to use buyers that you have to attract sellers. And you can also do that through a postcard, which is actually what I typically do. So you can say in a letter or in a postcard, I'm representing a serious buyer who's interested in a home in your subdivision. I'm sure you have seen not a lot of homes are for sale. And because of this, home values are at an all-time high. If you've had any thoughts of selling your home and would be interested in setting up a time for a showing, please call or text me. I like to also include a review from a past client because I feel like that builds trust and confidence. Now, the key to this is you have to actually have a buyer. You can't just blindly send out a postcard or a letter if you don't have a buyer. I have actually used this method and I have been able to close both sides of the deal because the homes fit my buyer's needs. And I like to do this by asking my buyers up front if they have a subdivision or a particular area they for sure 100% would like to be in. They usually do. They usually have a very good idea of what they want to be in. And after they tell me that, that's when I actually will send out the letter or the postcard to the entire subdivision. And I like to use a website for my postcards called the Personal Marketing Company. And the reason why I like them is because I can actually send my postcards out through their map system, which it'll allow me to select my mailing address for free based on a street map or a subdivision. So I can click an entire subdivision and I can send out to just that subdivision. You can also narrow it down to they purchased more than a year ago. There's lots of different things that you can do. And I will give you that company's name in the email that will follow this class so that you have it. You can click on it and check them out if you want. I've been using them for about 15 years and I haven't found any other postcard or mailing site that has a free mailing address quite like that allows you to do the map search. And again, this one is also a very inexpensive one. You can take it a step further by adding a QR code. If you don't use QR codes to a landing page on your website, I would highly recommend that as well. That anytime I have a QR code, I have it going to a specific page on my website. When I'm trying to get a seller, I always have it go to the seller's page of my website, and that page is a landing page that collects the information for me so that I can then follow up and reach out to them.
Amanda, can you repeat the website you said for the postcards?
I'm going to type it in the box too for you. It's the personal marketing company. Whoops. The personal marketing company.com. And I actually reached out to them. I use them so often and I told them that I have been sharing them in my classes. They gave a code, selling 25. It takes 25% off any order. So like it comes off the postage and everything. How often am I sending postcards? Anytime I have a buyer, I always ask them right away if they have a subdivision, because that allows me the opportunity to market myself then to sellers. So anytime I have a buyer, unless they already have a home that they know that they want to purchase, I always look for an opportunity to market myself to sellers. My QR code goes on almost everything. All of my marketing has my QR code. Highly recommend starting to use that if you guys don't. Okay, the next way is actually contacting your past clients by preparing a market analysis for them. Anyone who purchased a home within the last 2 to 7 years is in a sweet spot for selling. You can create a full CMA for them. You have already seen their home and you know what it looks like. So you can go ahead and prepare the CMA. You can put that CMA package nicely. You can put it in, I use my CMA boxes. You could also show you these. A lot of you guys have started implementing these. You can also put it in a pretty folder that has your photo on it, or you can even do like a stickered label with your logo on it. And I like to do a QR code that has recent sales that I've done on there right from my website. I use a company there called Listings to Leads, and they will track my sales for me so that I can show potential sellers where I've recently sold homes. But the key to this, because these are your past clients, is putting a handwritten note on top. And on it, you can put something like, you've done well, your value has increased by X amount. Have you had any thoughts of downsizing or trading up? Let's discuss. Now you're going to drop this at their front door. And when you drop it at their front door, I always knock first and see if they're home. I love the opportunity to speak to my past clients. And then if they're not home, I leave it and I follow up the following day after I send a text message. So once I've dropped it, I send a text message to them. Again, you already have their phone number because this is a past client. And you're going to say, hey, Karen, this is Amanda with Michelle Morris Realty. Just wanted to let you know I dropped a market analysis off so you can see what your property value currently looks like. And if you guys had any questions, I'd love to hear from you. It's sweet, short and sweet is always best. It's just a way for you to get back in front of your past clients. A lot of people only stay in their home about 5 years. So these are people that are probably going to be moving or thinking of moving sometime in the near future. Okay, the next method, and this is also a very inexpensive method. This is for expired listings. And expired listings, there's actually a ton of them. But I'm going to give you a quick little tip about these expired listings. You don't want to go after necessarily expired listings that have just expired in the last day, 2 days, or week. A lot of agents are actually going to be marketing to those expired listings. You're going to have a lot of competition in that market. What you want to do is you want to go after expired listings that have expired 1 year or 2 years ago. What you're going to find is those homes, most of them have not relisted. And the reason why they have not relisted is because back last year around this time, the market seemed to fall a little bit. And so a lot of those people decided not to sell. Or two, they couldn't find a home that would fit their needs. So they let the listing expire and they still haven't found anything. So they have not relisted. So these are the people that you should market to. So again, go in your MLS, pick the town that you want to be in, expired 1 year or 2 years ago. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to do a letter, and you don't have to make it anything crazy. I'm actually going to provide you with my letter template for you. It'll be in the email that you get after class. All you have to do is have this branded for yourself so that you are not constantly having to update your expired letter. And the next thing you want to do is you want to feed into the seller psychology. So sellers typically have hit a goal, they made a goal that they did not hit, and rationalization starts to set in. Oftentimes I find it's better to actually be the second agent in instead of the first agent. Sometimes those sellers had really high expectations last year or the year before. They thought they were going to get a crazy amount for their home. If it didn't happen, they let the listing expire. They were a little upset now, and they have had a year to think about it and decide what they would do differently this time around. So you actually have to overcome the obstacles set forth by the seller and have an effective plan in place for the seller. So you have to tell them what you're going to do. And I'm just going to kind of tell you a little bit about the letter that I send out. So one of the things I say in there is there can be many different reasons why a home does not sell. Price is not always the main factor. A lot of times they think their home didn't sell for price alone. And there's actually other reasons why. It could have been the marketing. Maybe they didn't have very good photos. Maybe the realtor that they picked was a realtor that didn't do any extra marketing. There was different buyers in the market at the time that they had it listed than there is now. So I like to tell them how I'm going to do it different. So I let them know that I have a unique 3-point marketing system that provides our listings with the absolute most exposure, unique techniques that help me obtain our clients' top dollar. And I'm eager to help them reach their goals. And I have this all spelled out in this letter that I'm going to give you guys to use if you'd like to. The next thing I do is I like to make it really fancy. And I used to use a white envelope, and a fellow realtor from Florida told me that she puts it in a colored envelope and that her open rate was higher. So I actually changed my method, and I have noticed that my response rate is much higher as well. I use a black envelope and I hand address it with a metallic marker. It looks like a wedding invitation when I'm finished. And I'll show you on this next slide. This is just a photo of what my letter looks like. I changed it for fall. So I had it basic when it wasn't fall. Now it's fall. So I did like some fun fall leaves. And then, you know, probably in December, I might change it. Maybe I'll have something Christmassy on there. But once you have this template, you can very easily swap out my photo and whatever, make it your own. And then if you see in that photo, that's about what mine looks like. I don't do the fancy wax stamp on the back, but I do hand address with a metallic marker. My envelopes are from Amazon. They come in a pack of 50. They're like $10. I use letter size, not invitation size. And yes, you will get a copy of this. And I use a metallic marker that I also bought in a pack of 3 on Amazon. I have gold metallic and silver metallic. I have a question here about, do I keep track of who I send these to? Yes, I do keep track of who I send these to. And anytime I am prospecting, I add these names and addresses to my farm that I'm currently farming. The next thing you can do is creating a networking map. And I will also share this template with you guys. So I share how extensive my reach is on social media. I send it out through email to my database, and I send it on postcards as well. The reason why you want to explain to people that while you're licensed in, for instance, for me, it's Illinois, you can still help them by referring them to a realtor in another state. A lot of people don't realize this. They don't know that you can actually refer them out. What you can do to make this even better is you probably already are giving a local lender all of your business, or maybe 2 or 3 lenders your business. And oftentimes you're not getting anything in return. So what you should be doing is you need to reach out to your local lender and you need to let them know that you appreciate your partnership and you know that they're licensed in 50 states or 30 states. Usually lenders are licensed in many more than just one state. And you ask them for the referral. You say, if you have somebody that's moving from Illinois to California, if you could let them know that I can refer them to a realtor in California to make this process smoother for them. And then they usually will hand deliver you that contact info. Most lenders are receptive to this because they don't want you to stop giving them referrals, because you can easily go find another lender that would be willing to partner with you. This costs the lender nothing. It costs the buyer nothing. You can get a referral fee out of it for doing nothing but simply connecting the client that's moving from Illinois to California agent. And in turn, it's making the lender actually look really well because he's making the process very smooth for his clients. And I actually usually give out a ton of referrals on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis by doing this. I always make sure anybody knows, especially on social media. When I'm posting a video on social media, oftentimes people that are reaching out to me are not from my state, and I am able to hook them up with a realtor from a different state. And this is a look at what my postcard looks like. You can do this. I have this as a social media template too, instead of a postcard. If you don't want to mail it, you can do it as a PDF or a photo. It just kind of shows where I have Plainfield, Illinois is in the background of this photo. So you could do your location as the background photo. And then it just shows my logo, my info, and just a little quick blurb about how I can refer them a realtor in any area. You've probably heard from everybody that you should be contacting your sphere of influence or your database, and I would definitely agree. Let me give you a little example of that. If you have 100 people in your database right now, or your sphere of influence, and your sphere of influence is anybody you would know if you ran into them at a football game or a grocery store and you said hello to them, that's somebody that's in your sphere of influence, somebody that you have a little influence over. And if you have 100 people in your sphere of influence, most likely you have about 10 referrals sitting and waiting for you right now that you have nothing to do but ask for. All you have to do is reach out and ask for them. Almost everybody knows somebody that's moving. So I like to do this usually twice a year, beginning of the year, end of the year. Are you planning on selling your home in whatever year you're in? You can do this now for 2024. They'll either respond and say yes or no. Would you like to know how much your home is currently worth in today's peak prices? If they say yes, you can simply follow up by sending them a market analysis. You can email that, you can drop it by their front door, you can follow that up with a pop-by gift, but usually they're going to respond. You're going to get a ton of your sphere that are going to respond. This is everybody that you've done any transaction with in the last 10 years or however long you've been in real estate with. You should have all of their emails and you should be emailing them. If you're not sending them out quarterly emails, I would recommend doing a newsletter too, just to make sure you're staying right in the forefront of their mind. But this is an email that you're going to do that's going to literally just be asking them, are they thinking of selling their home? If they're not thinking of selling their home, they might want to know what their home is actually currently worth. A lot of times people rely on Zillow, and as we all know, that's not accurate. So oftentimes the reply that I'll get is, I'm not looking to sell my home right now, but I would like to know what you think it's worth. And then I can respond. And by starting that conversation, it will allow me to continue to keep the conversation rolling, asking more and more questions. If they don't know anybody or they are not going to sell, I always ask if they know anybody who's going to be selling. Don't be afraid to ask. You always want to be asking. The email program that I use is Flowdesk. The reason why I use Flowdesk is because it's a flat fee every month. I think it's $35 a month, and I can have as many subscribers as I want. And why I like that is because I used to use MailChimp, and after you reach a certain amount of subscribers, the price continually goes up and up and up. For Flowdesk, it's a flat fee no matter how many you have. And they have really pretty templates that you can use for your email. So you literally are just like plugging your information in and it's already pre-done for you. So I really love that. Okay, here is the next one. Who is retiring or leaving real estate? Now, when I've given this class in the past, people are a little bit reluctant to reach out, but I really recommend you do so. So here's the thing. A lot of real estate agents don't ever fully retire. You know, it's hard to retire from the business when you've been in it for a long time. But what I have seen recently is a lot of the older agents that have been in business for a long time are buying second homes, or they are traveling more. They're not doing as much real estate, or they're not, unfortunately, able to keep up with all the new marketing ways that we have. And not all of them are on social media all the time, and they don't know how to utilize it. So what you do is you want to pay them a nice referral fee for them to literally hand deliver their business to you. And how do you do that? How do you go about it? You call them up on the phone. You probably have their information. So you call them and you say, hey, Julie, I noticed that you are spending half the year in Florida, and I just wanted to let you know that I would be happy to help you with your business while you are out. If you want to set up a referral program, I will pay you. And I always pay them more than the average because, again, they're hand delivering the clients. I'll go as high as 50%, and I will keep them in the loop if they want to be in on the emails or, you know, be in on some of the conversations. And I have a couple realtors that I'm actually doing this with currently. They in Illinois, a lot of times we end up moving to Florida, and they buy second homes, and it's really hard to man your business when you're out of state or not here. So if you just ask them if they would like to start the referral business, and again, you can talk to your brokerage or figure out what you think is a fair referral fee. A lot of times they're very relieved because now you're their feet on the ground here in your state and able to help them and service their clients, and they're still able to keep their foot in the door and continue to do a little bit of real estate. It actually seems to work out nicely for both parties. It keeps your business going. You're going to get a constant stream of referrals coming in, and they're going to still be able to, again, practice real estate. Social media. Social media is probably one of my favorite forms of marketing, and I love utilizing it. I utilize it probably too often, but I do social media every single day, and I started by getting really consistent in what I was posting. But the key to social media as a real estate agent is you need to give them a reason to follow you and continue to follow you. And I'll give you some examples. First of all, your content should be a variety of content, not all about you. So you don't want to have just listed, just sold, just your normal real estate, okay? The reason being is because real estate's kind of boring. It's a little boring for anybody unless they are actually buying or selling a home. And so what you need to be doing is posting things that everybody can relate to, not just the small group that's currently buying or selling a home, but you want to post to everybody. So anybody can relate to what you're posting. So what I like to post are recipes or cleaning things, how to clean your oven or how to clean your dishwasher, how to keep your sheets white. Cleaning is, I have to tell you, because it relates back to your home, it seems to do really well. I say it's kind of like children that like to watch other children open presents on YouTube. Women and I guess men, they like to watch other people cleaning things. And so those videos, I did a video cleaning my dishwasher and it got over 13 million views. That's crazy to me. And I mean, it took me 10 minutes to make this video. And it was the most successful video ever. And what I have found is when I started being consistent in my social media, that is when I started to grow. And your following count does not matter. It truly doesn't. It matters what you're posting, because that's going to be what starts people creating conversations with you. They're going to be reaching out for you. And to give you an example, I started last October. I quit posting real estate all the time. And I made a commitment to myself to post 3 to 4 reels a week. And I did that. I committed to 90 days, but I have stayed with it and I have continued to do it, and I'm still doing it and I'm still growing. What happened was from October until January 1st, I went from 32,000 followers to 100,000 followers just on Instagram. And today I currently sit at about 164,000, but I post the same content that I post on Instagram to Facebook. So now I have 114,000 followers on Facebook. Then I posted over to TikTok. I have 220,000 followers on TikTok. I have started implementing YouTube in the last 6 months, and I've got about 6,000 followers on there. And then I also post on Pinterest. The key to all social media, and I am your living proof that this is what works, is 20% real estate, very small amount of real estate, 80% lifestyle. Lifestyle can be you going somewhere with your kids. It can be you featuring a restaurant. It can be you going shopping. It can be solving some type of problem. If you're just posting, hey, look at what I just listed, everybody's going to tune you out. When I go out and about, or I'm at an event, even with my kids, or I'm out to dinner, oftentimes a personal client will come up to me and say, hey, I see what you're doing every morning on Facebook or on Instagram, and I love what you're doing. And recently I did a fest that we did for my son's baseball team, and I had a handful of clients come up to me and let me know that they were following me. They loved all the recipes that I posted. You know, it's just posting things that are relatable. You know, you want to relate to that mom that's busy and out at sports. So maybe you post a fun recipe for her. Or you want to post some type of organization skill or some type of room that's always disorganized. You can post a video of you organizing it. Tips that will help people, and it doesn't have to be related to an actual real estate transaction. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to real estate. And I say this every single time, and people are just always shocked that I don't post a ton of real estate. If you look at my feed, I don't post just listed. I don't post just sold. That's not on any of my social channels anymore. When I quit doing that, would you believe that I have now gotten more leads, more conversations, and closed more transactions than I ever did if I added up all of my years that I did just listed, just sold combined. I'm now getting listings from it. I go on several appointments from it. I'm getting buyers from it. If they're not from my state, I'm referring them to out-of-state agents. It has just grown my business based on the fact that I am being relatable to all kinds of people, not just somebody that's buying or selling. Where do you find the content to share? You can find the content to share in magazines at the checkout aisle of your grocery store. You can find it on Pinterest. You can scroll and see what other people are posting and make it your own. You don't have to recreate anything that is like out of the blue. You can simply take something and make it to be your own style. But for me, Pinterest is a huge thing that I use to get ideas, and then I usually spin it or do something different. Sometimes if I find a recipe that I love and I want to recreate it, if it's somebody else's, I just put them at the bottom and I give them credit right at the bottom. And I say, I saw this on, you know, so-and-so's Pinterest or Instagram, wherever I saw it. Anytime you post something that's not your own original, you always want to make sure you give credit where credit is due. And this is free to do. Social media is 100% free. If you need a few items to create your video, you know, sometimes I'm buying stuff to make recipes or food items, but I don't pay for ads. I don't pay for any type of sponsoring. I don't pay for anybody to edit my photos. Everything is my own that I am doing. And I spend a few hours every other week creating videos, and then I make enough content to post for the next 2 weeks. So it's not a ton of time. I would say I would spend 4 hours every 2 weeks creating content, and I create it all in one day usually. I don't schedule any posts. I have a question that came in about scheduling. I don't schedule any posts. If somebody's asking me for, you know, the source of something or a link to something, I do all of that manually. I don't pay for anything extra. Everything is me. I'm behind it all. So when you see me, if you're getting if you're asking me a question on social media, it's me responding to you. So I don't pay for anything extra. And you shouldn't have a need to. It's all things that you can use. I don't have a fancy camera. I just have an iPhone, and that's what I shoot everything on. And then I use a tripod for most of my content. I do not record in an app. I record small clips directly from my phone, and then I use an app called Splice to edit it together. It's free, SPLICE, and it's free to use. Doesn't cost you anything. You can put small clips together to make one big clip. Sticking with the social media theme, Facebook is a really, really great place for you guys to get listings and leads. The key to Facebook is, and really all social media, is the algorithm does not work in anybody's favor. We never know where your things are going, who's going to be seeing it. And oftentimes, most people are not going to be seeing your content. So here's what you can do a little bit differently. Facebook allows you to have a close friends list. You want to put all the people that you know in your area, so people that you went to high school with, or friends, or sports friends, or anybody that you know that would be in your sphere. You want to put them on your close friends list. And they're not going to know when you post. They might not see your post, or they might see maybe once in a while they'll see you show up. But what you're going to do is, since they're on your close friends list, you're going to be notified when they post. When they post, you're going to leave them a kind comment. So, wow, Nancy, this looks great. Glad to see, or hope you're doing well. Whatever it's related to, you're going to leave a comment, not just like their post. Make sure you leave a nice comment. While they might not see what you're posting, they are going to see that comment that you posted on their feed. That is then going to allow you to pop up more onto their feed, but it's going to make them have you in the forefront of their mind because you are leaving nice comments every time they post. So again, the odds of them seeing your comment are 100%. The odds of them seeing what you posted are maybe 10%, if that. A lot of things that you post are not going to be seen by your actual sphere of influence. So you can go the extra step and you can comment on theirs. Am I posting on a Facebook business page? I have a business page for my brokerage that I do manage, but I post everything on my personal page. This slide here has actually the step-by-step breakdown of what you do to put them on a close friends list. It will also be in the email in case you need a little extra help doing that. It'll have instructions for you. So I post everything again on my personal page, and then I share it to my business page sometimes, but everything is done on my personal page. And same thing with Instagram. I don't have a business page. I have everything as a personal page, and I have a creator page. The reason why I have a creator page is because Instagram and Facebook, Meta, I should say, has stated that they would like to focus on creators because that's who's keeping people on their platform. So when you have a creator account, I feel like you are beating the algorithm a little bit and allowing your things to be seen because you're being shown as a creator. You're also not restricted by the amount of friends you can have. Another way that you can get listings, and this is again a very inexpensive way, it would just cost you the cost of postage, is a review from your past client to the neighbors. You could do this on a letter that you can print out, or you can put it onto a postcard. Instead of asking your seller for a review, ask them to write the review to their former neighbor, explaining how the process went and highlighting how you made it easier for them. So basically it's a review from your seller to their neighbors. You see, the neighbors of the seller usually had some type of relationship with their neighbor, and they either liked them or they trusted them, or they saw what good job that you did for their old neighbor, and they might be interested in what that person has to say, and they might take it to heart because it's not just anybody, it was their neighbor. And a lot of times people don't know what to say, so they'll ask you what they can put for this review. And so what you can do is you can literally have them put the letter out to their neighbor and have it say, "Hey neighbor, We're sad to go, but we wanted to tell you about our realtor, Amanda. Her marketing plan was thoroughly thought out and she was able to get us top dollar in a short amount of time. What impressed us most is that she was with us every step of the way, making this move a little less stressful. If you're thinking of selling your home, give her a call. Here is her info. I like to do this on a postcard because then I put it into the personal marketing company and I send it directly just to that neighborhood. You could also just do.
I keep doing that. I had to put money on my mother's big account. Like, oh no, it's 5,200. I'm like, yeah, just give this to them. They'll give it back. They've been giving it back since I was born.
Is there anything else you need?
No, thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Tony
It's open.
Parker, Tony Parker, you need to mute.
Thank you. I'm trying to.
Is your screen
Thank
frozen?
you, Tanya. I appreciate that. Okay. So again, I like to put this on a note card or a postcard, and I like to put it up into the personal marketing company so that I can then go ahead and send it out just to that subdivision. And I want to give you guys a bonus tip here that I haven't ever shown on this listing class. This is part of my listing leverage course. I actually, when I close on a home, I take gifts to the neighbor, not every neighbor. The neighbors directly next to my listings and then across from the listing. So like it's 5 surrounding homes typically in a subdivision, and I get a little box here and I have a gift. And this month, I'm taking these out tomorrow with the closings. Here's what I have in it for this month. So I got cute little mugs from Target Dollar Spot that are not $1. They are actually $3. And then I found seasonal harvest blend coffee from Door County. These are from Amazon. You get 20 of them. It's like 12 bucks. It was very inexpensive, but it's like a personal pack. And then I did coffee, flavored pumpkin coffee syrup. So something small. This doesn't cost a lot for me to implement. I put it in a cute box, and in this box, it has a QR code that takes them to my website, and if they want to know how much their home is worth, it'll give them an automated estimate. And then it says on there, we just sold your neighbor's home, we can sell yours too. And I add a cute little postcard that I have had pre-printed. I print these directly at home on photo paper. And it says, hello from your favorite mother-daughter team, thinking of making a move. Now may be the perfect time to sell. Homeowners in the US have gained an average of $56,000 in equity in the last year. If you're curious how much equity is in your home, call me for a free market analysis. And then on the side here, I just kind of have a little snapshot of how many homes I sold in the last 12 months. And at that time it was 78 with 34 years experience and a 3-step marketing plan is what I explained to them. And then when they scan the QR code that are on the box, it takes them to my sellers page of my website so they can get a free market analysis. And then it always asks them if they would like a better number for what their home is worth. If they give me some more information and then set an appointment, I could give them a more accurate number. Because the key is when you are doing all of this is not to give so much information that now they don't need you. You want to give them just a crumb of information so that they still need to set that appointment, because you can't, it's hard to win somebody over the internet or through a postcard, sometimes even over the phone. But you can usually make a really good impression when you're there face to face and you can start building that relationship and showing your personality. The automated CMA is actually from listings to leads. I'll show you guys a little bit about that at the very end of class too. It's an absolutely amazing program if you don't already have it. This one doesn't work for me, but it would work for a lot of you who are in warm weather states like Arizona, California, Florida, or any type of destination area that people are wanting to move to or buy second homes for. You can offer a higher than average referral rate, and you can send this out to realtors that are in states that are like me, like the Midwest or cold states that are usually looking for places to go that are warmer during the winter. I get this email all the time, actually, from Arizona realtors. If you know somebody that's looking in my state, please send them my way. And so what you do is you offer to pay a higher than normal referral rate to realtors that are in other states if they send somebody their way. And I tell you, every time I get the email, it always has me thinking, who do I know that was talking about moving to California or Arizona or Florida? We have a lot that go to Florida. And I will absolutely send somebody your way. I will do my best to think of somebody. So that is a wonderful way for you to get business and utilize the relationships that you have with other realtors. Yes, you can absolutely use it with the migration patterns, but you know, definitely utilizing, like in the winter, go to people that have cold states. There's so many that are moving out. I could tell you right now, I probably have a handful of people that I know that are going to be moving to Florida and Arizona. Those seem to be our top two here. But if you think of, you know, states that are getting cold or starting to get cold, people are starting to think about moving to other states. And it's always in the winter here. Our winters are brutal. Okay, this is titled divorce attorney, but I would like to open that up to divorce attorneys, estate attorneys, elder law attorneys. This strategy works. I have multiple attorneys in my area and a financial planner and a banker that refer me business exclusively and keep me busy all year round because they don't have those ups and downs in their marketplace like we do in ours. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to create a list of attorneys in your area that you would like to work with, not just in your town. Try to think of surrounding towns too, because they usually have people from a larger range. Write them all down. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to call. And I used to work at a law firm, so I know firsthand that secretary or that paralegal is told not to put you through to that attorney. You're not getting through to the attorney. You're not speaking to that attorney. But you're going to call and you're going to introduce yourself to that paralegal or that secretary, and you're going to let them know that you are Amanda with Michelle Morris Realty, and you wanted to know if they had any clients that are looking to sell a home. And oftentimes they kind of just brush you off and nothing will happen of it, and that's fine. I never expect anything to come out of it. So what you do next is you are going to create a marketing packet. And this is a basic marketing packet. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to show them who you are. So I do clear envelopes, and inside of it, I have just information about myself. So it's a basic marketing brochure. It just tells a little bit about myself and my brokerage, a little bit about my marketing. Again, it's just a crumb of information. I know that these are what they give out because when I go to listing appointments, this is typically what they have. So it's just a brochure that's kind of customized to myself, and it has all of my contact info on the very back. The next thing I have in there is a locals guide, some of my favorite spots in town, which usually is around the same town that that attorney's office is in. I have a reviews page, and I always pick reviews of some of the harder homes that you had to close. So if it's divorce attorneys, maybe some people that were getting divorced you could put in there. If it's an estate attorney, some estates reviews. And I have a double-sided sheet of the review page, so I like to have that. And then you like to put in business cards, but not just any business card. I put in the QR code card. This takes them to my website. My goal is always to get people to my website so that I can capture their info. And everybody loves pens, so I have pens that I have made. I used Vistaprint to make them. I have my logo, phone number, and photo on them. So what you're going to do is you're going to put everything into a cute little envelope or a folder or a box or whatever you want to make it yours. And then you're going to go over to your local bakery or your crumble cookie or your cupcake place, whatever is cute. And you're going to get not just 4 or 5, get 12 or 8. Enough that would feed the entire office of this attorney's office. And you're going to go right up to the front desk, and you're going to see that smiling face of that secretary or paralegal, and you're going to say, hey, I spoke to you on the phone last week. I'm Amanda with Michelle Morris Realty. I just wanted to drop by this box of goodies for you and the office to enjoy. And here is a bunch of marketing material if you know anybody, or if you get any clients that are looking to buy or sell a home. If the attorney still will not look at any of this, I can tell you that that secretary or all those people in that office are now going to know that this nice realtor just brought all these cool goodies for everybody to enjoy at 2 o'clock when they were really wanting to go home. And they will now think of somebody at some point that can buy or sell a home. And here's just a quick look of what the packet that I bring by looks like. I have a little checklist that I provide for you guys too, if you want to implement this strategy. So the key to this is it might not work the first round. It's just like anything. It doesn't always work the first time around. So you're gonna rinse and you're gonna repeat and do this again in 3 months. And I usually will do it 4 times. If I get nothing, if nobody from the office has referred me, if the attorney hasn't referred me, I'll quit after a year. But I always give it a year. Yes, I'll go back to the packet. This is what it looks like. These clear envelopes are, you buy them in bulk on Amazon. I love them. I use them for everything. I often give them at closings too to keep all the client's documents in. Also want to tell you, don't just think of attorneys, like bankers are really good. And financial planners are also really good. So I have a financial planner that refers me a lot of business. So the financial planners usually work close with the elder law attorneys or the estate attorneys because they're usually handling the assets of clients. And oftentimes they'll suggest that they sell a house or they get rid of, one of their assets. And then they need to refer them to a local realtor in order to do that or fulfill that. So don't, a lot of people will discount the financial planner. They have a huge pull in a client. So I always say divorce attorneys, be prepared because there's a lot of drama that comes with that. Elder law attorneys, that's where I get my estates from. So I do a lot of estate work and that's all from the elder law attorney and the estate attorney. Those are two of the, they usually do both. The elder law attorneys usually are taking people that are a little bit older that need to be in an assisted living facility, and they're having them sell their home in order to pay for that. So that's a really big one. So I personally don't cold call, but I door knock. And what I've been hearing is you either like cold calling or door knocking or neither. So if this isn't for you, I understand not every method is for everybody. I love door knocking. And the reason why I like to door knock is because I like to get out there and I like to speak with people that live in these subdivisions that I want to get listings for. And oftentimes I will take my door knockers, and if the neighbors are home, I stop and I have a conversation and I explain to them who I am. Usually that person isn't looking to sell, but they'll be like, hey, see that house that has the gold car in the driveway? I know they're getting ready to move. Or this lady across the street had talked about moving. So that's why it's really good to get out and door knock, because you're having conversations with people that really, they don't realize they're like hand delivering you people to sell their homes. But you don't have to make it anything crazy. I actually really like market dwellings, and I like it because you can just slide your business card into the bottom of all of theirs. I just buy them in packs and I take them out. We do this on a monthly basis, and we always door knock around whenever we have a listing. So this one said, I need your listing. I sold all of mine. I just ordered these for like Christmas time. It says, keep warm, drink hot cocoa. It has a hot cocoa recipe at the back of it. I have these ones for Halloween. It says, home is where you hang your hat. And then I have these ones too that say, may I be frank, buying or selling a home doesn't need to be a pain in the neck, and it's little Frankenstein. But they have really cute ones. You can go on their site and pick which ones you like. Door knocking works. So I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get out there and talk to people and knock on people's door. 100% it works. I always do. We just sold your neighbor's home door knocking. But yes, these are door hangers, and these are from market dwellings. Another form of door knocking are candy cartons. Let me show you guys mine for Halloween. So I had a listing in our town that sold. It sold very quickly in multiple offers, even when we're not really getting multiple offers. So I wanted to go and talk to all the neighbors. So I actually brought like a generic candy carton that has a QR code on it for them to scan and find out what their home is worth. And I brought it by the entire subdivision that I had just sold a home in. And then for Halloween, I have another photo up there. These are my Halloween ones. It's for trick-or-treating. I'm actually bringing these out to my farm. And this is going to be my second point of contact to my farm. So all you do is put candy in them. They fold up in a box. It's really, really easy. I get these from growmylisting.com. I'm going to give you guys this template for free if you want it. It's all you do is swap out my info for yours and then he'll print them for you. They mail to your front door in like 3 days. It's really quick. But I'm using them for Fall Fest. Like there's a trunk or treat near me. I'm going to be, instead of just giving out candy, you know, you're sponsoring these events, have your info on it and make sure that you have a QR code to your site or a landing page. So that way you can not only just sponsor it, but you can get something in return. You never know who's going to see it. If you are in an HOA that won't allow you to door knock, I don't think there's anything you can do unless you get permission. If you're in an area that just says no soliciting, you can actually call the county or the township and you can ask for a pass. So that would be, they'll usually give you like 24 hours or sometimes a weekend pass for you to go and pass out where you're going to pass out. You just have to get a badge from the county or township ahead of time. Yes, if you're looking to create a QR code, it's free on Canva. I have a video on how to do it. It's really, really easy. The next way that you can get listings is through a new listing campaign. So that would be 4 postcards in 60 days. The first listing is coming soon. And if your state doesn't allow coming soon, it can be just listed. I have a photo of what my coming soon one typically looks like. I do that again through the personal marketing company. I do the entire subdivision. If it's not in a subdivision, I do a ½ mile radius around the new listing. The next one would be an invitation to your open house. And I actually send a postcard out to the entire subdivision. I also door knock. I have little door knockers that it's an invitation where you can handwrite the address on the back and I just go knock on the neighbor's door and say, hey, I'm hosting your neighbor's house open if you wanted to peek at what it looks like. Oftentimes they want to. So that would be my second postcard. And then the third one is when that home closes, I do a just sold to the entire subdivision. Sometimes I switch it up and I'll do a review where I do the neighbor review. If I'm able to get my client to write the review to the neighbor, I put that on a postcard and I send that out. And then the fourth postcard that I put out is we have more buyers. So we just sold this listing. There's a ton more buyers that are looking in your subdivision. Who do you know that is looking to purchase? Oftentimes people that are in the subdivision know people that want to be near them. So that's a great postcard. So they're receiving 4 postcards from you in 60 days. So in 2 months time, if they are thinking of moving, I hope it's going to be you that they are calling because you are showing up for them right now. Buy gifts. This is my favorite thing. So if you haven't noticed, I love gift giving. Gift giving is my favorite. I just love creating and finding things that I can give that I think people will appreciate. So Top Buy gifts are a huge part of my business. I'm on a team with my mom, so we have a ton of clients. She's been doing this for 34 years now. So our list is like just ridiculously long. So I actually do about 30 to 40 of these a month. And then around Christmas time, I do a little bit more. But it's actually a low cost way for you to stay in touch with your clients. And I shared on my socials a little bit about what my October one looks like. I got these boxes off of Amazon. I filled them with some stuff for the kids to carve pumpkins with, some candy, the light for the pumpkin, and then I topped it with a cute little tag. And every month looks a little different. I have a little photo up there of what my Easter one looked like and what my Christmas box looked like last year. What I do is I make a list and I keep that list going. So this is how I keep track. I actually use the MLS to keep track. And I spend about 1 day assembling my gifts. So like if I'm going to do 30 or 40, I spend 1 day assembling them and then another day or 2 dropping them off. I personally drop them off to every home. I knock on the door and I bring it to the client. And I do this for 2 reasons. The first is because I like to drop by unexpectedly. And the second is because I like to have the opportunity to speak with my past client. Typically when they answer the door, they are shocked to see me and they invite me in to show me what they've done to the home since they purchased it. And they're usually very excited about it. And that, opens that conversation with, oh, should we do this if we're planning on moving in a few years? Or should we do this if we're planning on moving in 6 months? make sure you're listening. You're listening for cues of what they're going to be telling you, not just talking the whole time. You want to listen to what they're saying. Usually I don't get a listing from that person, but usually I have to say, I think every single time I do one of these, I do them every month, I get at least one referral. So whether I get a referral from somebody buying or from so-and-so selling, I always get at least one referral from doing that. And that's only hitting 30 to 40 clients every single month. And that is larger than what probably most people need to do. If you don't have quite as many clients, maybe that only looks like 5 or 6 to you. But I categorize my pop buys in 3 ways: hot, medium, and cold. The hot clients are the ones that have referred me, continually refer me, and I know I'm going to get business from. The medium clients are the clients that maybe have referred me or reach out once in a while, or have given my name before, but maybe haven't done it recently. And the cold are people that haven't referred me anybody. I probably won't get any listings from it. However, I'm still going to send them a pop buy or pop buy just so that I can make sure I'm staying in touch. I'm not doing the same clients every single month. I'm rotating between that list. So every month I write down the list. I have the list. I keep that list moving as I'm adding new clients, and I pick from that list who I'm going to go to. And then Christmas time, I do a few extra. So usually my Christmas pop buys are who bought a house with me that year. And I like to do that just because they're usually shocked to see me so soon again, dropping something by. I would like to mention, if you don't want to actually drop by, you can always have something delivered. Like we have some that move out of state. We sometimes will send baskets if they don't live near us. They're too far. Open houses. So I literally built my business from hosting an open house every single weekend from other agents in my office. I didn't have listings as a new agent. This was built over time. And so I would offer to host open houses from other agents in my office. I worked at a large brokerage at the time, and we had a ton of agents that were top producing agents. And I offered to host their listings for them because it was kind of seen in the business that if you were doing an open house, you were probably a newer agent. And I don't think that way about it anymore. It's still a big part of my business to this day. I host almost all of my listings open unless it sells before the open. And I do that in a couple different ways that most agents don't do. So the first thing is when you're doing your open house, I'm doing them because I want to get listings. I don't necessarily care about getting a buyer. I'm always looking to get the listing. And so what I do is I showcase all of my marketing at my open house. So what do I do? I bring my CMA boxes. I have those on the counter. I have my pre-listing kit, which is a paint can that I have. That's on the counter. I have a buyer survival kit. That's on the counter. Instead of giving a business card, every single person that comes through my open house gets a favor. So I have a photo on there. Last month, it was those little beehives from Target. I put a cute little card on there with my information on it. I sent it out. I let them take it right off of the counter. And I do like little tags that will say, thank you for stopping by the open house with my info. So they're getting a little gift with a tag that has my information on it instead of my business card. And I feel like that makes a really good first impression for somebody. And then the next thing I do is I don't have anybody sign in. So I always get so many questions about this that I'm crazy for not doing it. This is what works. So instead of having them sign in, I have a stack of my CMA boxes on the counter. And what I do is I have a notepad on top of that stack of CMA boxes with a pen. And I let them come in. I introduce myself. I don't follow them very closely, but I walk room to room around the open house and I speak with them just like I would speak with anybody. And I ask them questions and I listen for the cues. I listen for things that they're telling me that they're giving me for free. And at the end of their walkthrough, when they're getting ready to leave, I say, hey, do you have a house that you're currently thinking of selling or that you would have to sell in order to purchase a new home? And usually they say, well, yeah, we do. It's either, just over here around the corner or it's in, this subdivision over here. And I ask them, well, if you want to write down your information and your address, I would be happy to run a market analysis for you and let you know what I think your home could sell for. Usually 9 out of 10 times they do. They agree to do that. They will leave me their address to their home. I do a market analysis the following day, and I go and I drop that by that front door. That is my follow-up for my open house. So I'm not picking up the phone and calling them because they usually do not leave me their phone number, but they leave me their house address, and then I follow up with that CMA for them. That has been very successful for me. And I know I've had several agents start implementing that. It's been successful for them too. The reason why I think it's successful is because you are giving something of value in exchange for information. So they don't feel like they're just giving you their information so they can walk through this home. So it's an exchange of value for information. The pre-listing kit I have out, and I don't give it to them. I have it out. Let me grab it 1 second. This will be in the email too. So it's a little paint can and it's a brochure on how they can prepare their home for sale. And the reason why I have all of my fun marketing out is because I want to showcase my marketing to them. I want them to see what type of marketing I'm bringing to the table when I'm listing their home. So that's why I show this. And I also have buyer survival bags that they're welcome to take. I have these on the counter. In there is just a cute little brochure about home buying made simple. And it talks about the steps you need to take to purchase a home and get it pre-approved, and just kind of generic information, but more information that most people don't know and have. And then I give them these little box top moving labels. These are for them to pack away their stuff since they're going to be moving. I give them some booties, a flashlight is in there, and I do like little notebooks for them to take notes on. This is in a cute little bag, and I always have this out too. So I always have all of my marketing out at my open houses because I want to showcase what I'm going to do for them. And that's really what that open house is for. You're not showcasing it necessarily for buyers. You're showcasing it because who's coming to these open houses? Oftentimes it's the neighbor or people that live in the neighborhood that might be moving. It's statistically proven that once you sell a home in a subdivision, usually somebody on that street is going to be moving in the next 6 to 12 months. Never discount it just because they're not moving today. You want to still make sure you're marketing to people that might be moving in the future. So another way that you can promote yourself is through partnering with local businesses. So I have a local guide that I use. I have a photo of it here for you guys. So when you create a local guide, you're going to put your favorite spots on it that you can drop off to these businesses. So for instance, for mine, I have the best coffee shop. I have a coffee shop in town that I like. It's not a Starbucks. It's just a cute little coffee shop. And I go and I drop this by and I bring them a stack of these. So now these are on the counter for them. And when people come and want to grab it or take a look at it, it has all of my information at the top of it for them to see. I also feature a couple small shops, a brunch place. I have a local brewery. I have my favorite dinner spot, the public library, and my favorite dessert shop. And what you do is you go ahead and take this, you make it to how you want it to the local restaurants. And again, the small restaurants are better than the large, you know, the big, large chains. You want to use the small mom and pop shops. The reason why you want to do that is because when you bring this locals guide to them, they're usually going to feature that at the front desk because they're excited to have been featured in it. And then I also share and tag them on social media. Another thing that you can do that's similar to a locals guide is a preferred vendors guide. You can put like your favorite painter or roofer or remodeling or window cleaning, carpet cleaning, flooring company, and you can drop this off at them at their offices too. Usually they're excited to have been featured and they will have that out on the front table. The next way to get listings is farming. And this is a farming is time consuming. So you are literally, you know, planting seeds that you need to harvest in 6 to 12 months. The thing about farming is it takes 5 points of contact, usually 6, before you're going to get a listing for it. So I always start my farm in fall because the holidays make it easy for me to get some more points of contact. So the first thing I do is I do a postcard that's introducing myself to my farm. And here's a copy of mine. It says knock, knock, and it says who's there, your favorite mother-daughter team. And then on the back side of it, I let them know that I live in the area and specialize in helping clients sell. A little bit about my 3-point marketing strategy. And I always, again, have a QR code to the seller's page of my website. So that's usually my first point of contact, is the introduction through the postcard. The next one is a seasonal pot buyer candy carton. So I'm actually doing the Halloween candy carton. Please wish me luck, because we have to get 950 of these out to our farm. That's how big our farm is right now. And I am like dreading walking all of these subdivisions, but we're gonna do it. We're starting tomorrow. So that's my second point of contact. The next can be a fall door hanger. So something in November. Sometimes I see people do a small fall like pop by gift or a coupon to a place to get a pie I've seen, but I'm just doing a door hanger. I have them already pre-done from Market Dwellings. I made it really easy. I'm sliding my business card in and I'm going to be taking those out. The next one would be a Christmas card. So you could do like either just a generic Christmas card that you're going to send. I'm actually having mine printed in a postcard format so that I can then use the personal marketing company to send it to the farm by selecting my street maps. And then you can do either a New Year's, or for me, I'm going to be doing a spring market update with a flyer about what the market looks like in that particular subdivision that I'm farming for spring. Because the hope is, I started last month. So my hope is that I will get a listing or 2 or 3 or 4 for spring. I know I'm not getting anything right now from this farm. I'm hoping to get something in the spring from it. I'm farming this location for 6 months, but I would say it usually takes that long before you're getting a response from it. What you're doing is you are establishing yourself as a credible source to that subdivision. So if you haven't farmed before and you want to keep it on a cost-effective scale, I would say start with a smaller subdivision first. Maybe, a subdivision that only has 150 homes. I'm doing a large subdivision because it's near where I live and it's connected to 3 other subdivisions. So I'm doing all of them. And my kids go to schools in that subdivision. So I know a lot of the people already. So that's why I picked this particular subdivision. I'm already like established in the community. So I'm hoping it'll be easy to break out into it. Yes, I'm confirming, Nelly, you will get the recording when you're done. It takes about an hour to download. Closing gifts are a great way for you to stay top of mind and get referrals from your listings that you have already closed. So I wanted to give you some examples. A lot of realtors do just like generic closing gifts, like a gift card or something that doesn't really have a lot of thought. And what I like to do is I like to listen to my clients throughout the transaction to try to hear what some of their interests are or what some of the things they like to do. I stalk them on, Facebook, and I see where they're out and what they're doing. But some really good ideas that I have that have been successful for me in obtaining referrals from past clients are a subscription box that you can send out monthly or quarterly. They have a bunch of different ones you can choose from. It would go directly to their home. And make sure that you have it branded so that you have a little memo that it's coming from you. So when they open it, it's like a gift that they get more than one time. I had a smart vacuum that I gave out to a client that had young children and pets, and they send me video all the time telling me thank you for it because it's making that mom's job a little bit easier. An espresso or a coffee machine is also a popular one. They use those every single day. So every day when they're waking up in the morning and having their cup of coffee, they remember that their realtor bought it for them. A popular one that I oftentimes will do in a basket with some other things is a Ring doorbell. And Black Friday is coming and you can usually snag some really good deals on those types of things and the vacuum. So sometimes it's fun to stock up so that you have it when you need it. I did a celebratory dinner out. I had a client that had told me multiple times they loved this restaurant in town. And so I did a gift certificate for him and his wife to go, and they went and then they posted a photo of them eating dinner at this restaurant. It was a pretty high-end restaurant. It was really nice. And they had a photo, with them sitting at the table enjoying their meal, and they had me tagged in it and said, thank you so much. We had a great job. We had a great experience working with you. So I gave them a gift, and it turned out to be, a review basically for all to see on social media. So that's a great one. And then I currently have a few clients that, are selling their homes that they built and have owned for 30 plus years. They're very sentimental to them. So something I added to these baskets that I'm doing is a photo book. I have a little photo of it there, and when I take my slides down at the end, I'll show you it. But what it is it's all of the professional photos that I had taken of the home. I made it into a booklet, or like a book, and on the side of it I have the address. So it's the address of the home, and then I have all of the photos that the photographer took, and I made it into a book. It cost me like $18 at Walgreens. I was so shocked. They have 50% off coupons all the time. So I delivered one of these last week to a closing, and I'm going to be delivering this one on Monday to my other client, but it was very well received. They were very sentimental about it. These clients happen to be a little bit older and don't do like a lot of technology. So now they have all of the photos of their home in a little book for them to enjoy. So I just wanted to throw that idea out there because it's something that's inexpensive and would be really easy to add to any closing basket or thing that you were doing. Postcards. So the postcards are, I would say it's more of an expensive type of marketing. It's one that gains me quite a bit of business, but do keep budget in mind if you're thinking of doing postcards, because if you send out just one round of postcards, you're not probably going to get anything. It's your consistency that is going to get you business. So I find that I have to keep budget in mind when I'm doing postcards because it can get expensive. Some of the best postcards that I have had success with are prospecting around a listing, an open house postcard, or this free home evaluation. So I started doing this one about 18 months ago, and I get quite a bit of business off of it. I send it to a subdivision, and it says, scan this code to find out your home value, and it's a QR code to my website. So whenever somebody scans that QR code and it takes them to my website, they have to put their information in to get the information. I then keep that information and put it onto a drip campaign so that I can reach out to them through email, and I'll continually email them. And that's how I start building a relationship with them. And then also another favorite of mine that gets a huge response is the recipe or drink recipe postcards. And I get those through Market Dwellings. I always do seasonal. So I have the pumpkin spice coffee cake one. I actually did a video of me making it and put it on socials. That was popular. And then I send it out to clients or people in my sphere. I also send it out if I'm farming. I've used these to farm with too. So actually, sometimes instead of doing, if you don't want to door knock, you could actually mail out a recipe type postcard. Does it give you partial leads? I'm not sure what you mean, but the QR code, if they scan it and they want to know what their home, it takes them to the seller's page. My site is set up so they have to put at least an email in for me to give them anything. And that's how I capture that. But postcards are a really great way. Another postcard that if you have a buyer is, my client thinks your house is nice. And then you could tell them what your buyer is looking for and send that out to the subdivision that they would like to be in. If you follow me on socials, you may have joined one of my CMA a day challenges. I do this a few times a year and it always yields some type of listing or more. But I do this, it's a strategic strategy that I use when I am doing this. So a CMA a day for 30 days is a challenge, and you're doing one CMA a day for 30 days. And it's very easy to do because what you're going to do is you go into your MLS. When you're in your MLS, you pick a subdivision that you would like a listing in, and then you narrow it down to homes that purchased 3 to 5 years ago. To me, that's the sweet spot of who's going to probably be moving again. And you're not going to, again, give them all of the information. You're going to give them a crumb of information. So I do my CMA box. And in doing this, I found that a lot of you don't know how to do the little snapshot from your MLS. So what I typically would do is I would pick my subdivision, and then I would only do the MLS version where it had what homes sold in that subdivision in the last 6 months. That's how far I would go back. So and on average, somebody would at least have a very good idea of what homes in their subdivisions are selling for without me giving them an exact price, because again, I want them to call me and set the appointment. So I added, because a lot of agents were having a hard time figuring out how to print that, a mini property report. And in that mini property report, it's just breaking down what's for sale in the subdivision and what's sold in the subdivision. And I have like a little blurb on there. It says the Williamsburg subdivision. And for this, I did a September challenge. So it says September 2023. And it was just, I have a QR code on it that takes them to my website. Again, if you guys see the pattern, everything goes back to the seller's page of my website because I want seller leads. So after you pick your 30 homes that you would like to drop your CMAs or your mini property reports off to, every single day, you're going to drop one a day until you have all 30 of them done. A lot of agents are they finished the last day of September and they're starting to give me all of the information about what has happened since they started doing it. And they've had a lot of great conversations. Many have gotten listings out of it. And a lot of them are having future listing appointments set for people that are thinking of moving, because people are unaware of how much their home is truly worth right now. I think that a lot of people just don't realize it because they weren't really thinking of moving until somebody says, well, did you know your home is worth X amount? Now that starts to get the wheels spinning a little bit. But this is a really great way to become an expert in a subdivision, because you are doing so much research on that subdivision ahead of time. To make it really easy, when you do the mini property report, all you have to do is change the address on the top part of it, and you can print it out 30 times with 30 different addresses, put it in your little package and bring it to the front door. I always knock first. I always love an opportunity to speak to somebody if I can. And I'm very informal about it. I just say, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm doing a CMA a day challenge. Wanted to let you know what your home is currently worth. Gonna leave this with you. I think that the presentation speaks for itself. It kind of, they're like, wow, what is this? Like you're giving them a gift. For sale by owners. If I was a new realtor and I didn't have any business right now, I would be hitting up the for sale by owner market. The reason being is there is a lot of them, a ton of them. I think right now I have about 38, but earlier in the summer, there was up to 52 in my area. You'll get the mini property report, it's included. It's gonna come in the email, sorry. I'm stopping and answering questions as I see them. So the for sale by owner market is huge right now. And the key with for sale by owners are they don't want to use a realtor because they have some preconceived notion in their mind that they can do it on their own, or maybe they had a bad experience with a realtor. It's hard to say, but they want to save money, or they want to think they're going to save money and they want to sell it themselves. So instead of like going to RedX or one of those sites that will give you for sale by owners, you can actually dig a little bit deeper and just go on Zillow. It's free. You can click, for instance, if I put in Plainfield, Illinois, and then took out the ones that are listed by agents and all the for sale by owners come up, it actually will give me all of the surrounding area. I make a list of all of those homes, and I actually pre-do these packs so that I can drop them off. That way, if I happen to be out and about in my car and stumble across a for sale by owner sign that I didn't previously see, I can drop it off. So you're narrowing your search down on Zillow for the area that you want. You make a list of those homes, and then you're going to assemble a marketing kit. So the key to for sale by owners is providing them value. So they don't want to use a realtor. They want to try it themselves. That's totally fine. You're not trying to sell to them. You're trying to give them information so that when they do decide they do need a realtor because they're not selling it by themselves, or they're not getting offers that they thought they were going to get, you're the one that they come to when they need to. Not all of them are going to come to you, but you should be able to snag a few. In my little kit here, I have the QR code to my website, and I give them tools that I think would be useful if I was selling my house by owner that I probably wouldn't have. So I do the shoe booties, which I get in a big pack from Amazon. The next thing I find for sale by owners have a hard time with is pricing their home. So I have a little pricing your home brochure with all of the different factors that go into pricing your home. Again, this is just information. There is no way that they can price their home without the MLS and without me. This is explaining to them what goes into pricing your home. The next thing I like to give them is a prep your home for sale brochure. This is going room by room, telling them what I would do if I was preparing their home for sale and how they need to declutter and pack away things. Because they need to pack away things, I provide them with these box ops moving labels so they can keep everything neat and organized in their garage or basement, which is what I tell them they need to do. And then you can add a little letter. It says, selling a home can be stressful. Do you need a helping hand? We would love to be your real estate resource. So not your real estate agent. We'd love to be your real estate resource, even if you choose not to hire us. Because right now they have the mindset that they don't want a realtor. How can we help? Staging, pricing your home, photography, marketing, negotiations, disclosures, follow-up. And then I also have on there that for sale by owner homes sell for an average of 14% less than a home sold with a realtor. I got that statistic off of NAR. And then again, I have a QR code to my website. All of this goes into my little kit that I leave at their front door if they're not home. I always knock first. When I'm able to speak with them, what I always say is, I understand you're selling your home by owner and I can appreciate that. I'm not here to sell you anything. I just want to let you know that if you have any questions or if you need any of the disclosures that are required by state, you could give me a call. So what typically I see happen is this. They don't want to talk to you right now, but they didn't realize they needed disclosures or certain documents. So now they'll call you and they'll ask about that. So now I'm going to give them information and I'm providing them again a little bit more value. And then usually they'll have an open house or two and they have all kinds of people through, but they don't have any offers because they're usually priced higher than what they would be priced for on the traditional market. That just seems to be the mentality of the for sale by owner. They don't want to pay commission, but they also want to price their house, you know, like 10% more than what they would normally get too, which is why it hasn't sold. And so they're going to ask you, well, what would you do? What would you think? What do you think I need to do? Why am I getting all these showings, but I'm not getting these offers? And that's how you're going to set the appointment. Well, I'd love to come take a look at your home and offer you some suggestions. Again, when you're face to face with somebody and you're able to speak, talk to them and answer questions, it's going to be a better impression than, you know, just dropping things and calling on the phone. So the key is always to set the appointment. So by giving value and being a resource for them to call when they have a question, you're building a relationship with them slowly, and that's how they're going to reach out. And that's a non-pushy way to sell yourself to a for sale by owner. Equity reviews. This is for past clients. So I like to let them know at the end of the year what their home is currently worth. And I don't give an exact, I'll do like the low, the medium, and then like what the recommended would be. And then I always have a page in there on statistics, what I accomplished. So this was from last year. And I'm getting ready to send out for, I send these out in December of every year. So you just kind of tell them, how many homes did you sell? How many clients did you serve? What was the average sale price? What was the average list price? And what was your total volume? And I feel like this gives them a really good idea of what the market was or is currently. And another way you can do this is through these equity review cards. So I just picked up a bunch of these that I'm going to start doing. These say, congrats on all the equity you've gained. And inside it says, your home is now estimated to be worth. Isn't it amazing what time and savvy homeownership can do? Reach out to discuss the details and celebrate your growing equity. Call or text us, and it has like our info. And then on the back, I did a photo and our logo. I customized these from Market Dwellings. They come with the envelopes too, so they're really easy to sell. Sorry, they're really easy to mail. I like Market Dwellings because they make any type of postcard or mailing card really easy to deliver. Okay, and then I wanted to give you guys a little bonus tip because I have noticed that a lot of people rented their homes the last 1 or 2 years, especially in the fall, like this time of year. And the reason being was because the market seems to dip in the fall or this time of year Especially right now, like we dipped last year and we dipped a little bit this year too. So instead of people selling, a lot of people rented their homes because the rental market was really hot. What they're finding is they don't really want to be a landlord. They don't really like all of those things that are coming up. They don't like being called. They don't like trying to track down the rent. So what I've been doing is sending out letters because this is when the leases are ending. So you can check what homes are rented, say, you know, October 30th up to October 30th of 2022. And then what you can do is you can send letters to all of those homes or all of those landlords. So the landlord's address is going to be in the tax record because it's going to be an absentee owner. That's how you send it. You don't send it to the actual tenant. You're going to send it to the owner. You send out just a little letter, or you can even do a postcard. But this is really, really great, especially for people who rented their homes a year from now or a year ago, because these people thought that they were going to rent them until the market went up. And the market did go up a little bit, but we're in that same predicament where it has dropped a little bit because interest rates went up as well. So these are just people that you can be marketing to. So go in your MLS, any home that was rented, you can reach out to the landlord and see if they are getting ready to sell. A lot of times they didn't really want to be a landlord in the first place. They tried it out and probably realized maybe it wasn't for them, or they just want to get their cash out. I do have a code, guys, for market dwellings. It's selling the suburbs. It's 10% off your order. I'll put it in the chat box. So I talked a little bit about here through listings to leads, and I thought I would give you a little bit more information about it just because all of my marketing has that QR code on it. That QR code is going to the seller's page of my website, and I'm gathering their information from there because I'm using a service called Listing to Leads. And just to give you a little information, so when I left a large brokerage that I was with, I knew I needed a website, and I thought that I would get a lot of business from my website. What I found was I paid an astronomical amount of money to an organization that was like the top producing realtor websites at the time. And I had them, they did my site for like 8.5, 9 years. I got zero business from it. Not one lead, not one listing, nothing. Paid all of this money, got nothing. So a few months ago, I was looking for my site to redo my site. It was dated, it needed to be more mobile friendly. And I stumbled upon a YouTube video by a woman named Lori Balin. Lori actually tells you how you can create your own WordPress site. And that's what I was going to do. But I was really busy. And to be honest, the tech part of behind the scenes of building a website seemed overwhelming to me. So I found that she actually owns a company called Balin Brands. And she doesn't create websites, but her brother does. And his name is Jeff, and he has a partner named Paul. And they have a template-based WordPress site. So what they did was they took my website and I picked what template I wanted. I think it's called a brew. I picked the middle level brew. And in 3 weeks, they redid my site. I'll put in here, it's Balin Brands. Oops. Oh, sorry, guys. I put it in, it's Balin, and this will be in the email too. Lori is awesome. She's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal resource. If you don't follow her on YouTube, she gives a ton of information for realtors about SEO and websites and a lot of AI and all that kind of fun stuff. She's very, very smart. But I didn't have it in me to like build my site from scratch. So I reached out to Paul, and Paul, I believe, is Lori's brother or brother-in-law. They're related somehow. And Paul took my site and he transformed it in about 3.5 weeks. And he suggested that I put in listings to leads. So I went ahead on his suggestions and did that. Within the first week that my site was live with them and with having the listings to leads plugins, I already started capturing emails and I already started getting generated leads. And now I would say I'm getting between 8 to 10 leads on a weekly basis just from having that one plugin. And it actually emails the people back for you. You don't have to do anything. It's just like if they ask for an automated estimate of their home, it sends this very beautifully written email for you. They'll respond back. They'll tell you everything that's in their home. It then sends them another follow-up email. It asks them if they want to make an appointment. It's phenomenal, and it makes your job as a realtor really easy, especially if you're lacking in the, oh shoot, I forgot to follow up with this lead, or didn't remember to email back, Susie or whatever. It is a monthly cost. I think they offer a free trial. I can give you a code. I think I can generate a code for a free trial if you want to try it, but it's a plug into your website. So like if you have a WordPress site or any website, you can plug it into the site that you currently have. If you don't want to redo your site, you don't have to. If you're looking to create a website, I would highly recommend Balin Brands. And I will provide you guys with all of their info because I was very, very impressed with them. I also, they changed my IDX feed to be, it's IDX broker now, and I get leads from that as well. So I think that, the conjunction of them making my site mobile friendly and then adding this listings to leads, it really, really just amped my site up. The other thing is with listings to leads, I am able to generate leads through social media because I can do PDF documents through listings to leads. It has buyer guides and seller guides, and it brands it for you. It lets you save it so that you can then share it right onto your social, and then it takes them right back to your website. So it's a really cool service. It's totally worth it if you're not already using it. And then I always get questions on where do I get all of my listings from? So I thought I would just break it down for you. In the last 4 months, I went back 4 months. So I got 12 transactions from social media. 7 of those were listings. 3 of them were dual, meaning it was my listing. I posted it on socials. I got the buyer from social media. And then I had 2 new construction builds because I featured one of the new construction models on my social media channel. I did a quick walkthrough of it. People reached out to me asking what the community was called, and I was able to meet them out there and set an appointment and sign them in with the builder. So, and new constructions are pretty to look at. So if you're looking for content idea, that's a great one. Farming and CMA a day challenge, 6 listings, and then 3 new ones were signed to go live. 2 of them went live last week. Both of those are sold, and 1 more is going live hopefully next week. We're waiting for some of the family to clean out some of the home still. Attorney referrals. Got 4 attorney referrals from 3 different attorneys. And one referral was from a local banker. So somebody that I bank with, I go into the bank and instead of going through the drive-through, I go into my bank. I bank at a smaller bank in my town. And I take the opportunity to go in there when I'm making deposits or getting anything from them. And I speak to the tellers that are there. And that's how I got some business. Open houses, I got 2 listings from having my CMA box and providing a seller valuation from the open house. So that's why open houses work for sellers, not just for buyers. I don't even go after the buyers at the open house. Past client referrals, 4 listings. 1 of them ended up purchasing again, and 2 of them were lots. Meaning a lot of people are selling off those lots that they thought they would build their dream home, and cost of building was too high. They've been holding on to vacant lots. So we've been selling a ton of vacant lots. If you have clients that have vacant land and are not building on it, absolutely reach out and see if they want to sell them, because land is selling right now. Popeye Gifts, I had 4 listings from Popeye Gifts, 1 signed for September. That one that signed for September, I already took, and it is sold and under contract. And then postcards, 4 listings from Just Sold postcard, and one of them was from What Is My Home Worth postcard. So out of all of these methods, those are the ones that I am using. So you can kind of clearly see. Can I eliminate any of those? No, because if I'm getting just 1 listing from any of these methods, I'm going to continue to do it. So you have to do multiple avenues of marketing so that you can get multiple sources of information and listings and appointment setting coming in. And so I'm doing that by doing a little bit of everything every single day to add up to being this larger outcome. What is the average cost in my area of home? It's about $350 to $400. I have several homes that are in a luxury price point in my area right now. I have 575, 650, and one that's 899 and one that's 950. But that is not average for my area. My area is pretty much 350 to 400, which is why I have to do such a large volume to close the amount that I close. And I'm closing about 18 million a year right now. For the last several years, it's been pretty steady. I'm on track to do that, but that's why I have to market so much, because I have to do a very large quantity to get that number that high, because our values are not high. It's affordable to live where I live, but we don't have pretty mountains or oceans or anything. So the grass is always greener, right? I am going to open it up for a Q&A, and I'm going to turn off this slide so you guys can see me. There, now you guys should be able to see me. If anybody has a question, I would be happy to answer.
Amanda, this is Vanessa. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Hi. First of all, this was amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, I've definitely focused my business primarily on listings, and I wanted to know. You said you're posting 20% real estate and 80% lifestyle. How do you make sure on your social media you're not coming across as salesy, but you still kind of have, I don't know, you kind of share, maybe you have a real estate t-shirt or something to kind of remind people you're a realtor?
So I throw in a video of something real estate related, like a day in the life of me as a realtor selling the South Chicago suburbs. Or I do a lot of realtor marketing, so that's how a lot of people know that I'm a realtor. But what I would do if I wasn't doing this is I would be doing like me dropping off my pop buys, and you'll often see a video of me doing that once a month, or me assembling my mailers to go out. So something that can show you doing something in real estate. But I don't post my listings. Like, you will never see just listed or a walkthrough of a listing. What I do is in my stories. That's all, pretty much all real estate is in my stories. So most people, how the social media works is they will follow you if they like what they see in your feed. If they like what they see in your feed, they would like to know more about you, they will go over to your stories. If they're in your stories, they're going to see that you are a real estate agent, because you're going to be posting about real estate in there. So anytime I have a listing, I post all about that listing in my stories. As soon as it goes live, before it goes live, I post me putting the sign in the yard, and I post the address, and I post a link to that home directly in my stories. And that's how I'm getting a lot of sales, because they're clicking that link, they're scheduling the viewing right through me, and then I'm able to go show my own listing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Sapna. Today was amazing, and I love how
Yeah.
detailed you got in all the explanations. I wanted to know, is there someone like, that we could hire to do all this, the papers and the stickers, and is there someone you recommend? It's like a go-to admin?
So I don't have anyone that you can hire, but I sell all of my templates. If you want to recreate anything, you literally just plug your information in, and then you can recreate it. And anytime you take a template from me, I give you instructions on how to use it.
Okay, so you will send that to us in the email?
Yep, I have links for all of that. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda,
Hi, Amanda.
Yes.
sorry, thank you. It was amazing. Again, I have a question about pop buys. How do you select 30 to 40 clients each month if you have thousands of them?
I have a lot of them, but what I do is I select them based off of the MLS, and I keep what I call a running list. So as I hit one, that person moves to the end of that list. That makes sense? So they go to the end, and I keep going down that list. I also categorize that list for hot, medium, cold. Hot, these are people that are giving me referrals. They're referring me on socials. They're sending my info to their friends or their colleagues. These people I really focus on. That's my huge focus on. Then the medium or the warm, those are my secondary focus. Those are people that maybe refer me once in a while. The cold, maybe they're only getting a Christmas card or, a package of cookies or something. They're not going to get, something that everybody else is getting, because they're not really referring to me. I just want to stay in contact with them. It's a running list.
I can go next.
Go ahead.
So Amanda, you are just killing it. I've been watching you grow and you're just totally my vibe. My question is, now you have all these QR codes, which is brilliant, and you bring it to your sellers page. Do you have forced registration on your sellers page? And then you get notified when they fill it out? Is that how that goes?
Yeah, so I didn't used to have the forced registration. I think that's why I was probably missing out on the leads. So they have to see anything on my site, like it lets them see for a few minutes, and then it will have a pop-up where they have to register. Like they can't see anything, like even my listings, they can see like 3 photos and then they have to register and give me their information for them to see the rest of it. So, and I didn't like that really at first because I felt like it was kind of pushy, but it works. It really changed the way my website works and how it kind of all works together. So it's a capture, and the listings to leads literally sends out, like, so after they put that information in, it sends it out for me. I don't have to do anything with the lead. Next.
When you mail out all of your postcards, do you use a title company to help you do that? Or do you get all the addresses from the MLS and then address them, postage them, and put them in the mail yourself?
So I use the personal marketing company for my mailing for my addresses. Sometimes I use the tax record, but almost I would say like 99% of the time I'm using the personal marketing company. Even if I'm not mailing from them, I grab my list from them because it's free. Our title companies, we're an attorney state, so our title reps don't have any incentive to help us. So they don't give us any like free information. So they don't give out lists. I don't have any of that. That resource isn't available to me. So that's why I like the personal marketing company.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Thank you for making this information available today.
You're welcome.
I have a particular neighborhood. I'm in sunny South Florida.
Okay.
And we have kind of a corridor of gated communities. How have you, I don't know if you have them in your area that popular, but how would you go about getting yourself into the gates if you don't necessarily have a listing or a past client in there to get you through?
You can reach out to the homeowners association, the management company specifically. So find out who it's being managed by, and you have to really schmooze the management company.
Sure.
Yeah, like for us, we have
a visit to them.
Yep. Similar to how you do attorneys. You know, you really have to go in there because they're usually like miserable people. They're like, you know, they're dealing with all of this crazy homeowners complaining. So I feel like they're always in a bad mood. But just be really nice to them and say, hey, I'm trying to build my business in the subdivision. But if you don't have a listing out there, you could start by a postcard would be a really great introduction because they can't govern that. That's going to go straight to the mailbox. And if you continually hit them with postcards, you can hopefully snag a listing out there. Once you have the listing out there, you can then prospect by, you know, getting on the ground and walking. But the management company, that lady's your best friend.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So thank you also, and we're fellow mother-daughter team. So that's super.
I love it. I love to hear that.
Yes. Can you talk a little bit more about the creator account? Like, do you have to start a new account or can you just switch your current account to that?
You can just switch your current account. So up in your settings, it'll say account type, and you probably right now have it either as a business or as just a personal, and you can just switch it to a creator. You don't have to be approved or anything.
Okay.
That's in your settings section.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
How are you doing?
How are you?
Quick question. So when this is aside from the 30 to 40 pop buys that you're doing, so when you were farming and you have that enormous amount of pop buys, how are you having anybody help you? Are you knocking on doors? Are you just leaving those, you know, on the door? What are you doing?
So it's me and my mom. And so tomorrow we're going by ourselves. So there is 2 of us. So like one of us will do one side of the street. The other will do the other side of the street. We'll probably maybe do 100 tomorrow, but that's not gonna be even like enough to get done. So the goal is to have them all out before Halloween begins. Most likely I will hire my children to come with me and also hit doors. And that's typically what we've done in the past. So we'll get the whole family and we'll just all grab, you know, a bag full and we all start hitting. Now, if the person is out, I speak with them. If they're not out, then it just gets left at the door. That's why it has the QR code on it, so they can scan to find out what their home is worth. When they go to this, it captures the information to my website.
Okay, so you're just leaving them and then moving on to the next house.
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Hi, I work with my sister. My sister's a realtor and I do all her marketing for her. And I loved your class a lot. I have a question. When we partner with local businesses and say we bring them that local guide that you suggested, do we keep coming back every quarter to their business with more of the local guys or like a Popeye gift? What are your suggestions?
So I usually will, I will ask the business owner, so usually small businesses, so you get their information when you go to drop off the guide, and then I ask them to give me a call if they run out so that I can bring by more. If they don't, I always like to update my list too. We get a lot of new, like smaller companies that start up in this area. So I change it and then I'll drop it by the new ones and I just kind of keep rotating through. But if you can get a contact at that business to call you anytime they run out, or periodically stop by to bring more. But it's nice because they'll have it right out on like the front station usually. Like if it's a restaurant, they have it at the booth when you first walk in and you know people can grab it.
So you just recommend just dropping off the local guide and not bring them anything like a little Popeye gift?
No, I just bring the guide. They're usually really excited to be featured in something like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Can I ask you a follow-up question?
Yeah, go ahead.
About the creator? If I switch to the creator account, will it, because my Facebook and my Instagram are linked, will it automatically unlink those or will they stay linked?
They'll stay linked, but you'll just be a creator now. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it won't unlink anything. It just changes the way your account is featured.
Okay.
I am Amanda. Oh, sorry. This was really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Quick question for you. What size paint cans are you getting? I was on Amazon and there's a couple different ones.
Oh, okay. It's if they have them on Amazon, snag them because they sell out all the time. They're 1 gallon size paint cans. They're clear. I actually got the bulk of mine from Michael's.
Oh,
you guys
okay.
sold them out and they can't seem to keep them in stock. So they're not online right now on Michael's. It's a smaller can online. But if you go into your local store, you might be able to get a bunch of them. Another person told me that they used the Carey Company. So I went on there. It's called thecareycompany.com, but you do have to order 12 at a time. For me, that was fine because I like to pre-assemble all of my marketing and that way I have it when I need it. When I start getting low, I'll reassemble.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Amanda.
Hi.
2 quick questions if I could. When you talked about Instagram and your the story doing the poll with the 4 slides, do you actually put up 1, 2, and 3 at the same exact time?
One after another. So I put up one and then I go to the second one. And then, so when they're flipping through, it's asking them that like series of questions.
Okay, great. So that's a series in the same 24 hours. Okay.
Yep.
And then my second quick question was, you mentioned that you keep your rolling list in MLS. How do you keep that in MLS?
So our MLS, like whenever we have a client, I just input their email and their phone number in there. It's kind of like my Rolodex online for me.
Interesting.
And then I just kind of go through there. That's how I go through I have my CRM is Flowdesk, which isn't like your traditional real estate CRM. It's more of like an email database. So I use my MLS to track all of my clients.
I kind of love that. I never really thought about it. So you input everybody there as a client. Okay.
One service and I'm already paying for it. So
right. Brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, this is Lourdes. Oh.
Hi, go ahead.
This is okay. Lourdes.
Thank you so much. I've taken a couple of your classes and I love them all. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for sharing all your free tidbits. I really love it. It's great.
Thank you.
As far as your attorney packets, can you share in the email when you know, at the end of the, you know, like the links or any templates, the clear folders that you use?
I
and
have a
template?
checklist that I
Yeah.
can send to you guys in an additional email. If everybody wants it, I will just send it out in bulk to all of you guys. It's a
Yeah.
checklist. It tells you that entire strategy and it breaks it down like exactly what to do.
Yeah, but your templates, like what, you know, whatever.
What's inside of
you
it?
include, yes, exactly. Thank you. All
Yeah,
right.
we'll have a
Thank
list.
you.
Sure.
All right.
Hey, Amanda, it's Bonnie here.
Hey,
I just
Bonnie.
wanted to say thank you very much for being so generous with
You're
everything you
welcome.
share. I did make these boxes.
I love it.
I put my reviews on the back.
I love that.
And then I've committed to an open house a week for somebody else, you know, if I don't have anything. And so, yeah, I've got a lot of interested people just kind of following up with me on social media. And I just recently had somebody say, a stranger say, oh yeah, Bonnie, she's one of the best realtors. And I thought, okay, thanks, you know, but I think it's just because I'm showing up. So I have been taking all of your suggestions, including my best thing on social media was where you put your open house signs in the back of your car and closed it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, everybody loves that. I think it was the easiest. If you guys haven't done that reel, it's
So
7
easy.
seconds.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody seems to like that one. So it's been good for my followers, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah, but
love
thank
to
you.
hear it.
Yeah, almost everything that I bought from you is in my office. And I hired somebody. I said, let's put everything together and just go all in.
Yeah.
So
It works.
Yeah.
It works. If you just do a little bit more than what the normal realtor is going to do, you're going to stand out.
yeah, yeah. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming, Bonnie.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
We're here building boxes.
Yeah, love it.
So I just want to double check. The email you're gonna send is gonna have all the templates for everything that goes inside, or
It has a list. The templates, I have links if you want to purchase any of the templates. You
okay.
can, but it has a list of everything that you can have. So I have all of my templates are broken out into kits. So I have a CMA box kit that includes everything that I put in the box. I have the attorney marketing kit, which is your generic marketing kit if you want to give it to businesses, doctor's offices, your attorneys. I have a for sale by owner marketing kit. So I'll have links in there for all of them. You can pick what you want. If you'd like to implement any of them, you're welcome to.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. I'll do that. Thank
And
you.
I love the black boxes. Those are cool.
Thank you.
Amanda, I have a technology question besides, oh my God, thank you for all of this.
Welcome.
This is Emily. Technology is my nemesis, and I was also very fearful of the forced registration. So I just want to make sure that I understand, so Ballin Brands created your website and they put in the listing to leads plugin.
Yes.
And so that kind of just works for you in the background all the time. I was looking at the Ballin Brands, their package, because someone posted a link for there. Do you have any of the blogs and all of those things, or is it just the basic standard?
No, because when you do the blogging, first of all, you could probably write your own through AI on Canva. So I don't want to pay for any extras that I don't feel are necessary. But that's more if you want to rank on Google. Are we going to rank on Google as a small real estate website when you're going up against all these other people? Probably not.
No.
The legitimacy of having a website is so that people can feel like you're an actual business and they can get your reviews and the information that you're going to provide. So I don't think any of that's necessary. So I'm pretty sure I picked the middle brew. It was the second tier brew. And they just did it off of the color. So it's black, golds, and creams, kind of like a modern look. And then they plugged in IDX Broker and then listings to leads for me. And then they host my site. So I don't do anything with the site.
Okay, that was my next question. So they host it. What is IDX Broker? I've never.
That is how my listings from the MLS get pulled over to my website and they're featured on the front page of my website for me.
Okay.
So people can search for homes directly on your website. So one of the tabs that I thought was pretty clever of them to put in was homes with a 3-car garage. When you click on that tab, it brings them all of the homes from the MLS that have a 3-car garage in the area. So they kind of like do that based on like where you live and what's popular where you live.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And then Flowdesk, you said that's not a traditional CRM. That's just an email thing, but you use that as your CRM.
Yes, I use that in conjunction with my MLS as my CRM. So it's basically I'm paying like $35 a month for Flowdesk that I pay for the MLS already. So I'm not paying like, I don't pay Chime or I don't know what are some of the other ones. There's all those different CRMs that are hundreds of dollars a month. I don't pay for any of that. I keep track of all of my clients in my MLS. I input their information into there, that saves it for me. And then I input them into Flowdesk for emails. And that's how they get like their quarterly newsletter anytime I'm sending something out to all of them.
And do you make your own newsletters or do you have templates for that too?
I have a fall newsletter that I just sent out with all of like our area pumpkin farms that I have for free on socials. It's already linked up there for you.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, thank you for all the information. I mean,
You're welcome.
I mean, everything is just, you know, wonderful, right? All these templates and so forth. The $1 million question that I have is, how do you keep yourself organized, right? I mean, is it mainly the templates? Do you have any other resources or tools? Single mom over here, right? Just trying to juggle business, kids, and, you know, life in general. So can you share with us what else? How do you keep your sanity, right? Because it sounds like.
Okay, so I have 2 boys. They're school age. So my days looked a little different when they were younger, but they're at school all day now. What I found works best for me is I get up before everybody in my home, and I don't just do that like Monday through Friday. I do it 7 days a week. So I get up at 6 a.m. every single day, and I have 2 hours, like a 2-hour window every day. That's where I work on my marketing. That's where I'm like assembling things. That's where I work on like my emails that have to go out to clients if I'm going to send a newsletter. I keep like a little list. See if I have it. I have like a to-do list, and then I just kind of like check off. Then during the day, I usually have like my appointments, and you know, some days you'll have appointments, some days you won't. So that can be flexible. But I just make sure that every single day I'm doing some sort of marketing. So that's how I would say that's the best way to stay organized, is you break it up into a little bit every single day, just a little bit. And then you're not overwhelmed, because what's 2 hours out of your day? Like, it's not that much time. And if you're doing it before your family gets started for the day, or even if you wanted to do it in the evening when your family is settled, that's perfect too. I mean, it's all takes a little bit of sacrifice, but just a little bit of time can really get you a long way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Amanda, my name is Nicole. I'm also from Illinois. Thank you for everything. I know.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank
but I actually, something that we didn't talk about, but I'm really curious, just because you do get all these listings, and I know a lot of these people that look at, you know, they get your kits and things. Do you ask like past clients for reviews? And is that, I know one of the realtors earlier mentioned putting reviews on all your marketing. What platform do you mostly? Is it Google? Is it Facebook? Is it a combination? You know, there's the Rate My Agent. There's all those different ones that are out there. What do you use mostly?
I usually use Zillow. And the reason why I use Zillow is because I feel like that's the big site that a lot of people use when they're looking for an agent. So I like to have them on there, but I actually prefer to email my clients privately after the transaction and ask them to give it to me via email. And then I send that email to Phelan Brands, and then they upload it to my website. And that way I can use it for whatever I want. I prefer to have it that way, but I do have reviews on, you know, like Google, Zillow. I have them that way just because I feel like you need to have them that way. But I prefer to just get an email review from my client, because then I can do what I want with that review.
Gotcha. And then going back, I know someone earlier asked, you mentioned to be a creator on Instagram. Is there also, do you know, because when someone mentioned it, I know there's digital creator. I noticed on your Facebook, on your Instagram, you have video creator. Do you know if there's any big difference based off that, or
no,
the fact that it's
just as
similar?
long as it's a creator, it's fine. It's gonna ask you what you typically post, and that's how it's gonna categorize you to digital or video. So I post mostly videos. I'm not posting like posts. If you look at my page, it's mostly all reels. So that's how it categorized it.
Okay, and last question, sorry, I've been taking notes for the best. I know the girl before me also asked for the forced registration. That's just something that Ballin, they'll be able to do. That's not something like extra that you put on. It's just everything once you create the website.
Yeah, it's through listings to leads is so when they put that plug in for you, that's how that works.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you so much for everything.
And Amanda,
You're
just
welcome.
to go off of what she just said, so this is your personal Instagram. You do not have a separate business.
Nope.
Okay.
Me.
Okay, thanks.
How do you have time about real estate?
I don't know. No, it's all, I feel like it all kind of merges together. The marketing is my favorite part of real estate. So I love to get all of my marketing. I love to think of new ways. And then I like to present that to my clients, and show them what my marketing looks like. So it kind of all feeds in together. And I will say, I don't have a transaction coordinator, but my mom works with me. And a lot of people say, well, so you're a team. Where we are, I guess you would consider us a team, but we work as a solo agent, but our clients get 2 agents. They're just paying for one. So she does she doesn't do any of the marketing. She does 0 marketing, but she'll put it in the MLS for me. So even though I don't have a transaction coordinator, I do have help. She does a lot of the stuff I don't want to do, I should say. I do all the marketing. She does all of what I guess what a transaction coordinator would do. And then we're both the face, to the client and help with the follow-up and all of that. But it's hard I would say to enhance that. I work a lot of hours. I'm always working. I'm always on my phone because I'm on social media a lot. But I work a lot of hours. A lot of people want to get into real estate because they don't want to work a 9 to 5. I will tell you, I 100% work more than what I would work if I went and got a 9 to 5 job. I'm working from 6 in the morning, and I'm oftentimes not putting my phone down until 8 p.m. at night. And it's constant. So unfortunately, I don't know. I haven't been able to find that balance. But I will tell you, I don't hate it. I love what I do, so I don't feel like I'm working all the time.
Amanda, I've got a question about the CMA boxes.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I ordered the box and I have those, and I've been doing them where I make a CMA for each home. Okay, and doing a separate equity review for each home. I saw where you mentioned doing one per community.
Yeah.
And my question about that is I end up with, big houses, little houses in the same community.
So what you would want to do is then group them together. So the big houses, redo them all at once. Did you get my mini property report?
Yeah, it's got the three values on it. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so go ahead and if you just change the address, but do one for the big houses, do one for the small houses, and just categorize it that way. Then you're only doing the work once, but you can do 10 homes or whatever, however many you're doing.
Yeah, because it's been hard to do one a day because I end up a little bit more work than I want. Okay, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Amanda, I have 2 questions. One of them is I signed up for the CMA a day challenge.
Sure.
And I'm not sure if I'm missing something. Am I supposed to do one every day, or am I waiting for an email from you every day that tells me what to do?
You do one. So the first email that you got had a checklist of what you're going to do and how to implement it, how to assemble, and then you start doing one a day for the next 30 days. Every single week, I send out a new email for you, keeping you on track though. So you will get another email on tomorrow.
Gotcha. Okay.
Saturday. It'll be Saturday. Every 7 days you get one from me.
Every 7 days. Okay, good. Yeah. Thank you. And then you mentioned somewhere 3-point marketing strategy. What does that mean? What do you do?
So I have print advertising, I have social media advertising, and then I also have the internet advertising. And I break that out into 3 points of marketing, and I tell each client exactly what they're going to be doing. I don't think I have it on me, but it's in my seller's guide, which is my listing presentation booklet.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Amanda. It's Melissa McKenzie. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, thanks again for putting this on. And I don't know if you saw my post on that Facebook page about my open house.
Yes, I love it.
It kind of blew up, but yeah, that was great. I felt really professional and it had everything organized. But my question is how you do your videos. So you mentioned that you have a stand that you use, but the quality seems really good. And does that splice that you use kind of add the fuzziness?
Okay, so let me give you a quick little tip. When you are filming on your phone, at the top corner, it's gonna have the video quality and it's gonna have HD is what it typically will say. If you click that to 4K just one time, and then the number next to that is gonna say 30 and you click that to 60, it's immediately going to make the quality of your video way, way better. But you have to manually do it.
Okay, good tip. And do you have somebody follow you around when you're doing your outside ones, like your porch?
I wish I had somebody that would follow me around every day. No, I just use a tripod. I have a program on, it's like a smart tripod. It's called a DJI tripod. Let me pull it out here and it will follow me. It just like follows me around. But it just rotates. That's all it does. This is like $89, I want to say, but I honestly don't use it that much. For the most part, I just use my cheap $13 tripod from Amazon is my favorite one because it's taller and easier to bring around.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
I have a quick question. With your templates and everything, are we able to change the colors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, everything is fully editable on Canva. If you don't have Canva Pro, I would totally recommend paying for that. There is a free trial you can do for free if you want to try it out, but they give you a lot more options to change like fonts and the background photos, but everything is fully editable on Canva. So you can change the text, you can change the logo, the color, anything you want.
Okay, thank you.
Amanda, if you've already answered this, bear with me, but so everybody who's on this webinar is going to get the templates that are customizable?
No, I'll give you the link for the templates. The templates are not included. They're sold separately. They're broken out into kits. If you would like to implement them, you can, but they're not included. You do get there's a few that are included. So like my expired letter is in there. It's going to be in a link where you click on it and you can edit it and change all your stuff. Some stuff is in there, but like the kits, the marketing kits are not included. I will have a link if you would like to purchase them though.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Amanda, what about seller's guide and listing presentation? Are you gonna send a link to purchase those as well?
I can send a link for you to purchase. I think it's already in the email. I'll double check to make sure. So the listing presentation I do sell and you are welcome to take it and use it. I print it through Canva. It goes with my listing presentation course. So I have a course that you can take on your own time. It's called Mastering the Art of a Listing Presentation. I take you from the start of my listing appointment through the end and exactly what I say in between. And that's part of that. So that's why I don't bring that in this class, just because this class was more about getting those appointments to set so you can get a listing appointment.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question, if it's my turn. Hi. I was wondering a couple of things. I didn't see the newsletter the fall newsletter that you sent out. I'm wondering if I just didn't see it in your chat there, or was it somewhere else?
It was on my social media in my stories, but I can add it to my email that I'm going to send out if you guys are interested in it. It's free. You guys can edit it and change it, make it your own and send it to your clients or post it on social.
Thank you so much. And then I just had, you're amazing, by the way. It's just
Thank you.
Information that my brokerage, even the educators don't give you. So
I know it's something that we're missing in this industry. Nobody wants to share their secrets.
Nobody, even your mentors, sometimes it's frightening.
I know.
So thank you so much. And then I was wondering about, oh, the boxes, the Halloween boxes. I've got some in my cart already on Amazon, but not the black ones. Where did you get them?
Oh, so these are from growmylisting.com, and my template is free. I've been giving it to everybody if you want it. I'll leave it. All you do is you'll swap out the QR code for your QR code, which you can make for free on Amazon. Or I mean, I'm sorry, on Canva.
Canva, okay.
You get it for free on Canva, and then you put your photo instead of my photo. Then the instructions to upload on Grow My Listings is on the bottom of that template, and you just put in the quantity and it'll ship right to your front door.
Oh, already, and you just kind of fold it up?
Yeah, you just fold it up. It takes like 1 second.
Oh, nice.
Your
Okay.
candy in there, you're good to go. Yeah,
Thank
it's really
you.
cool.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Amanda, just a quick question about your schedule and stuff. Because I get your emails all the time, but do you have a place where all of your classes that we could do on our own and the classes that you have scheduled for the next couple of weeks, do you have that anywhere?
I can put it in the, so I just like when I'm gonna do a class, I just launch it on my socials and my email list. So if you're on my realtor email list, you'll get an email saying, hey, I'm gonna be hosting class. So the next class I'm gonna be doing is the listing leverage class. I'm gonna do it in 2 weeks. It's the secondary to this class. So it's gonna go over if you have a listing or you have a buyer, how you can turn that into 2, 3, or 4 more. So you can leverage that listing that you currently have. If you're looking to grow on social media, I have an entire course called Social Real Estate, and that is through Thinkific. And so you can take that on your own time. It's yours forever. You can play it back as many times as you want. You also are grandfathered in. So when I add chapters, which I've done a few times now, you get all the new content too. And after you pay for the course 1 time, so you get it forever.
Okay, so how do you access that?
I'll have a link to that in that email too. So if you want to do that. And then I have a listing presentation course. So if you don't know what to say when you go on a listing, like how to get through that appointment, what you should be doing and saying on that appointment to closing the deal and handling objections, I go over all of that in my listing presentation course. And then I also have I go through my listing presentation that you can purchase and edit to make your own as well through there.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, I have some questions about your open houses because I'm really liking your strategy. So the CMA boxes you don't hand out, what are you actually handing out? Because you have all your marketing there. So you have the buyer kits, all of those. What is actually being handed out and what's actually just for show?
Sure. So I actually everything is just for show. It's just like a showcase. But what I do, that's why I have that favor there. So you could do like a box. I'm doing, for this month, I'm doing cute little coffee mugs that have the coffee in it. And then I have a tag that I put on it that I printed from home, and it just says, thank you for popping by my open house. So the favor is what they're getting. Everybody, as soon as they leave, like when they're leaving, I offer them the favor. And so that usually they're very excited for it. The CMA box, I don't give them. I just put their name on one so that I can drop off a CMA that week for them. So that's my follow-up.
So what about the buyer back?
You writing your name as they're there, so it's kind of that whole this is yours,
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a production.
Yeah, no, I love it. And so I completely missed this. You probably said this, but the CMA boxes you order separately, or do you order them with everything printed, or you have to order the box and then print?
It's all one piece, and so the template gets uploaded and then it's printed on one. So mine cost me about $2.90 to order each box. So I don't think it's super expensive. Some people don't want to pay that. So what I've had a few people do is they've purchased the template. They've ordered boxes from Amazon. They're a little bit cheaper, but they're thicker. So if you wanted, mine are only 1 inch. I'll show you mine. Mine are only 1 inch thick. They're not big because they're just a whole paper. If you wanted the ones from Amazon that are cheaper, they're like 2 inches or 3 inches, so they're pretty big. But you could simply order sticky paper on Amazon and print the template on the top on the sticky paper and then just fasten it to a box. You could do that as well. It may be cheaper. It's just not all one piece, so it's not as custom, but it's going to have the same presentation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, where do you suggest we start? There are so many items. There's about 80 days left of the year. Yeah. And I love all your ideas. I'm actually a complete fan on Instagram. I watch you all the time.
Thank you.
And I want to know And I'm glad I took this because now you put it all together, it made a lot more sense. But I
Mhm.
want to know, what would you start if this is the first time you're going to do marketing?
Mhm.
What would be the first thing for the 80 days that are left?
So the first thing I would do is I would create a CMA box or a folder to hold your marketing material. I think that when I did that, I started implementing that a couple years ago, and I feel like that changed my business because people were so curious, what the heck is this thing? And the presentation, it's just so much more elevated than what just handing them paper. So that would probably be my number one. I use it the most. I bring it everywhere, and I feel like it gets the biggest response for me. Number two would be, I would be hosting an open house all the time. If I didn't have business, I would be hosting open houses all the time. If you don't have listings, you should contact people in your office and see if they'll let you host theirs. You know, each brokerage has different rules, to find out what they are and then ask if you can host somebody else's open house. I did that every single weekend when I first got started, and that's what helped me grow my business. And then the last thing I would do is I would implement for sale by owners. I think there's a huge market to tap in for that. I don't think it's expensive to do. I feel like they're kind of not really wanting to talk to you at first. So if you don't like rejection, it might hurt your feelings a little bit, but there's huge room, a huge amount of people that are selling, and they are actually selling. Like, they have their home listed, they want to move. I think it's a really good opportunity. And then if you were adding in one more, I would say, see if you can do some type of fall event or a trunk or treat and have some candy boxes. These are very, very cheap to print, has all of your info on it. And even if you wanted to give it to like somebody at a craft show, maybe they're having like a vendor show, go give them 200 of them or 100 of them and say, here, pass these out to people that are walking by, or, you know, then it's candy for their booth, and it has all of your information on it. So I think that these are really, really easy to do and implement, and they're not expensive.
There was a little box that you had, it was like bigger and it didn't look like a house. What was that for? I missed that.
This little tower.
No, it was smaller and wider.
I love boxes.
That one, yeah. Yeah.
These I give to, this is in my listing leverage class, but I did share it with you guys today. So when I sell a home, I go and give the neighbors a gift, and I have it in here and it says, we just sold your neighbor's house, we can sell yours too. And then on the side of it, it has a QR code for them to scan. And I just have a cute little gift inside. It's a little information about myself. These are the mugs I'm giving out this month for my open houses. This is what I'm doing as favors. These are $3 at Target Dollar Spot. Inside of it, I have the little seasonal coffee. I bought it in a 20-pack off of Amazon. I don't think it was that much money, maybe $12, maybe $18. It wasn't that much money. And then I also added in this caramel pumpkin coffee syrup. So this is something, we have a closing tomorrow, so we will go drop these by the 2 neighbors on each side of the home and then the 2 neighbors in front. So like 4 or 5 total usually we do.
Nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Amanda, I have one more question. So when you say when all the boxes that you do, you always have the QR code that leads to your website.
Yes.
So I don't even have a website yet. I'm in the middle of still creating it. Is this something that I should wait on having finished, or am I just wasting time waiting for it to be finished and just put just my email address and my phone number on there to get started?
You don't need a QR code, but the reason why the marketing, I think the reason why it works so well is because it's directing everybody back to that website and it's giving them a ton of information. So I've had some agents that don't have a website bring it back to their social media page, and they'll have like a landing spot there for them that will, you know, give them more information in a video or some type of format like that. I think it's important to have a website as a realtor though. I think separate from just your brokerage site, I think you should have a website. I think it's a great way for you to give the consumer information about what you're going to do for them, because that's what you're trying to do, is create value for them.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, I have a quick question. Where are you getting your tags?
Most of my tags come from Market Dwellings. I like those because I can slide my business card in. But sometimes if I don't have time to like buy them and have them mailed here, I will just create them on Canva and then I print them at home on my printer.
But where are you getting the tags though to print out?
The paper, you mean?
Yes.
I just get the thick cardstock paper from Amazon and then I just put it in my printer and print it. I have just a normal like HP Envy, I think, printer. I think it's an Envy. It's nothing special. It's just a regular colored printer.
So then are you just individually cutting them out then?
Yeah.
Into like a certain, okay.
Yeah, I just cut them into like a rectangle or a square or whatever size I did. Yeah.
Amanda, I have a question regarding the open house. My name is Najiba. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a new agent, so this is very helpful for me. How many things do you bring to your open houses?
I bring the pre-listing kit. I bring the CMA boxes. I bring buyer survival kits because that's all my marketing. So that's why I want to showcase that. And then I bring favors, like a little favor.
And how many of each do you usually bring with you? Like
the favors?
Yes.
The favors, probably about 10 to 12. The last open house we had, I brought 14 because I thought we were going to have more and we only ended up giving away 9. So yeah, 10 to 12, I think you're safe.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question about the boxes.
Yeah.
You had mentioned the blank ones you got from Amazon, but the one that you just showed that you delivered to the neighbors with the QR code printed, where did you say you get those from?
Those are from, you know what? I don't have it off the top of my head. Upprint, I think it's called. BoxUp. It's called boxup.com. BOXUP.com. I just made a template and then I uploaded it for them for printing. I think they have a sale maybe too, but I just order like, get 50 at a time. And then once I start getting low, I order them again. They come in like 5 or 6 days. So it's not like you have to keep a ton of them on stock. I don't have a lot of storage. So I have to like condense down what I'm buying.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, I have another question. What is trunk or treat?
Trunk or treat is usually the schools, churches, or like towns will put it on where they decorate the trunk of their car and they open it and then they pass out candy. And so instead of I usually sponsor it for a school. Instead of just giving them candy, I usually will put it in something like this so that it has my information on it. And that way I'm giving the candy, but I'm also like giving my business card too.
Okay. Emily Need, I don't know if you can see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, Amanda. So the bag, that buyer's bag at your open house.
Yes.
So you are like, if somebody is interested, and you know, they don't have a buyer's agent, you do not give them that bag at that time. Is that what you're saying?
No, for the buyer's bag, I always offer it to anybody who wants it. So if they are just buying a home and I always say, oh, I have some information about buying homes. If you would like to take this, they usually always take it if they want to. Usually people that are working with a realtor won't take it. They kind of are standoffish to you, but they usually will take your favor. Which is fine. I offer that for anybody. But the buyer's bag, they're welcome to take. I usually have a few of these out. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Okay. And so they don't have to sign anything to like sign in to get that bag.
No, I just,
you're not capturing any of their names. Okay.
I'm hoping that they will like me for my personality and be impressed by what I'm offering at the open house to want to work with me. Honestly, though, I'm not doing it for the buyer. I'm doing it for the seller, and the seller usually gives me their address because they want to know what their home is worth.
Right. Okay.
I have one more question, Amanda. On the for sale by owner kit that I have, the packing labels, you don't give them a whole package, do you?
I get the little ones. They have on her, if you go to BoxOps, she has starter packs that it's only like a handful of them. They're small. I think they're $3.
Oh, okay, because I did get them. But there was like, I mean, it was a nice amount that was in there. Okay, did I just take like a few out and just put them in the box?
Yep.
Not the whole thing.
Yeah, don't give them all of them. I do give those packs to, like when I go on a listing appointment, I give them an entire pack and they love it.
Okay.
It's very well received. So you might want to incorporate that for your listers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Amanda,
The cans, can you review that again? I missed what those were.
So the cans are the pre-listing kit. So what I do is when I have a listing appointment that's set a few days before me going on the appointment, I go and I drop off my pre-listing kit just to their front door. And in there is a magic eraser, some disinfecting wipes, a prep your home brochure, the moving box labels. And then I also have a little paint brochure in there about some paint suggestions that I offer. And it's just kind of this is kind of the start of what I can do for you. And then I show up at the appointment with usually my box, or if they've already gotten the box, with a folder. And then I always bring a gift. Anytime you go on a listing appointment, bring a gift. It doesn't have to be anything special. It can be, we have a Fannie Mae close to us. I'll usually go grab some Fannie Mae's or some crumble cookies, something small, cupcakes, and I put it in a little house box that I get from Amazon. And I immediately start off, we start off on a good foot.
And then what would you say you budget for marketing every month, or if somebody starting? I'm sure your budget's a little bit different.
My budget's kind of all over the place. It depends on what's going on. So here's how I do it. The year before, say I sold 70 homes and I know how much I spent in marketing. What I do is I take money out of every single transaction going forward, and I put it in an account for marketing, and I never see that money. That's only my marketing money. So while I am paying for it, I don't feel like it is hindering my personal finances because I've already set money aside. So when I have my closing tomorrow and I get paid next week, I am going to take I take $395. That's how much I need from each transaction to pay for my future transactions. So I pay that first before I pay anything else. That is my money for marketing. And that's how I kind of set up for the year ahead. So even if I have extra in there and I didn't use it all, I save it for, another project or another marketing thing. Around a post.
And does that allotment cover your website expenses and hosting and everything? Like that's inclusive all of your marketing money? Okay. I was going to ask that same question. So I do just want to say thank you so much. I mean, the value that you've provided for the price of this class is unbelievable. I think that we can all probably speak to the fact that, it's scary to spend money on something. Yeah. Are you going to get something out of it? The value that you deliver is unbelievable. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I always I have a lot of people who tell me I don't charge enough, but my goal is I really want agents who maybe don't have enough business to pay for some big, class. I want them to be able to get started so that they can start building their business. I know it's scary. A lot of people, quit their full-time job to do this, and then they don't know where their next deal is coming from. So I think if you can implement a little bit of some of this, you'll be able to start at least to, begin to start your business and begin to start growing. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Amanda. Might I ask another question? I was wondering, you recommended, and I think you're right, the website aside from your brokerage, what web company did you already say? I didn't hear. Do you recommend? I think that's a future goal of mine.
Ballin Brands is who I used.
Sorry?
Ballin Brands, Ballin.
Oh, she's also okay.
So she doesn't do it, but I think it's her brother. But fabulous. I've recommended a few other agents to use them as well in my last class that have worked with them, and they all have this similar experience to mine, that it's seamless, that you don't have to do anything. And to be honest, it wasn't that much money. I mean, I think it was under $2,000. And maybe it was under $1,600. It wasn't that much for the investment. And you're paying that once, and then you don't have to redo it. Like my last site, I didn't redo it for 9 years. So I just figured it was,
Okay, that's great information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Amanda. It's Lena Clymer. I actually want to piggyback off of the website thing. Do you remember how long it took for them to set up your website? Because that is my big hurdle. Every time I go to do it, it takes forever.
Sure.
I never go back to it.
Do you have a site currently?
I do not. And I'm an independent brokerage. We only have our Facebook, so we need a website.
Okay. So when we did it, when we first became Michelle Morris Realty and we became independent, it took the other company that did it, it took them 3 months because we were doing it from scratch. But Ballon Brands only took 3.5 weeks. They did use a lot of my write-ups that I already had. So for you, you might have to give them more information that I gave them, but they do all of it. Like you don't have to do anything. You're literally just like copying and pasting what you want to be on there and they're filling it all in for you. So you pick your template that you like. I think mine's the middle one. I want to say mine's level 2. And then they customize it for your colors that you want. And then they plug everything in. So you don't have to create or do anything. Highly, highly recommend it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, I've been trying to chime in. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, thanks so much. This was great. I was on the fence about joining in, but you're just wonderful. So thank you for being so generous.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions. Hopefully I didn't forget the other one. Trunk or treat is very popular in my area. And like I'm so on the fence. Should I just decorate my trunk and show up and hand out things? Or is that kind of tacky?
So I'm not actually decorating a trunk, but I have a friend that is and doesn't want to, she asked me to sponsor it to pay for the candy, which can be kind of costly apparently. I mean, I guess when you think about the cost of candy, it's like $10 a bag. So I sponsored her, but I didn't give her money. Instead, I am providing the candy cartons and that's what I'm giving her. And she will hand them out for me. So I like it because I don't have to actually sit it. But if you wanted to, you could absolutely set up a trunk and make it a cute haunted house or something, and then have your bucket of these cute candy cartons and give something like that out. Or if you didn't want to do the cartons, you could make a little sticker to put on a piece of candy or a bag of candy. And that way you're getting your information out there and still like not just giving away for free.
And then I have one other question when it comes to, I see a lot about agents wanting to give to like schools and fire departments and police departments and teachers and things like that. What's your feeling on that? Do you have an opinion?
The only schools that I give to are the school that my kids go to. I do bring in occasionally like some snacks for the front office, like the people that are sitting up there. And I don't do it in a salesy way. I just have my business card in the box usually, and then I just have it up. I just randomly will bring it in. I usually do it twice a year. They know me, my kids go to school there, so I'm already known there. So I just do it and I just say thank you.
Okay, well, I'm an empty nester, so that's
You could do a police station or a fire station. I don't know if I would just like randomly go to a school. I know realtors do. I just feel like I like to plug in where I'm already like connected.
Got it. Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hopefully figure out how to lower my hand. Thanks.
Hi, Amanda. Question about QR code. You have them on different cartons, on books, on postcards, on flyers. When the leads come in, are they categorized? Are they tagged once they get into your CRM? How do you organize all that?
They all go to the seller's page of my website and it gives me their email address, and usually so they can either ask me for a market analysis, which is automated for them, or they can also send me just a regular message too. Either way, no matter what, I get to keep their information.
Does that go into your flow desk from there or?
Yes, yeah, you can plug it in to your flow desk right through there. Yeah.
And
there's an
each
app
list-
that you use for that. I can't remember what the app's name is. I can look it up though. It's like a plugin. Yes.
Maybe
yeah.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then are they getting the actual CMA for their house, or is it still general like?
So it's not a full, it's not like, so it literally will give them like an estimate, like kind of like a Zillow type estimate, probably a little bit more accurate than Zillow. But what it does is it says, if you would like a more accurate number, it has them fill out like a questionnaire. They usually do. And then it sends them another email. Would you like to set an appointment with Amanda and Michelle? And then that's typically how that appointment starts, is then we'll get that information, we'll get that address, we'll set the appointment, and we'll go out.
Nice.
Any other questions I can answer?
I have a question about your logo. So I feel like I need to create a better, more attractive logo than just my company, my brokerage's logo. So, where do you create your logo and what fonts do you use and, how do you get it to be all cohesive?
My logo was created by a graphic designer. I have her info. She was out of California and now she's, I think, in Virginia. She was very, very, very good. It didn't cost that much. And I don't know how she made it, but she charged me and then she sent me like 5 different mock-ups. And then I kind of had my family all vote on it. And that's how I picked which one. I did not create the logo myself though. I just used a graphic designer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, thank you again for providing so much value and just
You're welcome.
being just so generous. Seriously, this is the best type of training I have been on, and there's so much meat to select. And quick question, when will we be receiving the email with all those links? And if we don't receive it, how do we connect with you?
If you don't receive it, did you get an email from me before or you were one that couldn't get it?
I don't think I received it.
Okay, so reach out to me on socials. Do you have me on socials?
No, but I will now.
So I'm Selling the Suburbs or Amanda Albrecht on Facebook, and reach out to me if you don't get the email, but I send it out about an hour after. So this playback, I do the Q&A is included in it. So that way, if anybody wants to listen to the questions, it takes like an hour to download. It's a pretty big file. So I attach that so that you guys can watch the playback or if you want to listen to anything else. So I would say it takes about an hour. So you should receive it. You'll receive it before 4 o'clock today. Well, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Okay, so 2 o'clock California time. And then will we be able to, how long is the link good for? Like, does it
7 days.
expire?
Yeah, it's good for 7 days. If you would like to rewatch it again after that, you just have to send me a quick message so I can redo the link for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you provide the slides also, like, so that we can like print them out or?
You get a digital booklet that will have every single way that I went over today in there. So it's kind of like a shortened version of it. It's easier for you to thumb through. Yes. Any other questions?
I have a really quick.
Sure.
Hey, Amanda, your seller page that you keep referencing with the QR code takes them to, is that your Ballin Brand website or is it just the listing to leads thing?
So the listings to leads is just a plugin that's on my website. So the Ballin Brands is who hosts my site. The listings to leads is part of my site. So it's all one. So when they go to my seller page, the listings to leads is what's capturing their information. It's like a program that I pay to just capture their info. They have to put their info in to receive information.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, real quick, I know, because I use Flowdesk too, so I'm sure you have an affiliate link that you might want to share.
I do, yeah.
Because it's only $19, I think, a month with the affiliate.
Yeah, that's true. It is cheaper.
Yeah. And I've been following you for a long time. This is my first class of yours that I've taken. So I'm kind of fanning out a little bit. But you are amazing. And I look forward to taking some more classes. So thank you.
I appreciate you being here today. Any other questions? All right, I am going to end it and then I will send everybody in the next hour or so. You will get a copy of the class. It will have like the breakdown of all the questions that were asked, and I think this was what, 2 hours long, almost 3 hours long. So if you guys want to rewatch it, you can rewatch it, but you can go through whatever parts of it you want to watch at your own time. So I will end this now, and I appreciate you guys all coming and following along. If you have any questions that you think of, feel free to message me on socials. You can also send me an email. I try to respond to all of them myself all of the time. And if I don't respond, send me another message because I probably just didn't see it. So thank you again. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.